Also recording. Hi, it's the God Awful Gospel Stream. It's Monday. I'm Donnie, and Josh is here, and Chris is here. And we have a very special guest, Mike Olson.
Hello.
We invited two Californians here so we can produce thick, golden, ropey streams of content.
Is that a Olson with an E or an O?
With an O.
Oh, with an O.
Yeah.
Is that like Norwegian?
I think we're mostly Norwegian, but the thing is, half my family spells it with an E, but because my grandfather went to World War II and they fucked it up, and he could never get it switched back.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Mike with an Ike?
No. But yeah, so it's with an O.
Okay,
So,
all
not
right.
like those trampy Olsen twins.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking
Yeah.
for. I'm glad we got that straight.
Oh yeah,
right
no,
off the
you got
bat.
to. Well, hopefully you got to everybody find my Instagram handle. That's the.
Oh yeah.
I finally found your PSN friend ad.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
It's a different name.
Yeah, it is.
It says your name and then another name.
Dan McGrew.
Okay.
Which is a reference to a poem by Robert Service, Dangerous Dan McGrew.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He was a very Alaskan, manly poet. He wrote like The Cremation of Sam McGee, and it's good shit. So,
yeah.
The wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
no, different. So that would be Gordon Lightfoot.
And,
Manly poetry sounds like an oxymoron. That's nice. That you found something.
He's like up in Alaska, like frontiery. And
Military intelligence.
I like to read these poems with my pants down. That's how I do it.
Gonna die in Florida.
I do a wicked T.S. Eliot impersonation.
yeah.
Yeah.
Has he ever been audio recorded?
Yeah, actually,
okay.
I had a professor play it once, and I'm like, wow, that's not what I imagined at all. But he's
Man, last year, my son, he was a sophomore in high school, and he came home from school, and I always ask him, "Oh, hey, how was school?" He's like, "Oh, it's pretty good." I'm like, "Hey, what are you reading this year?" This is like halfway through the year, and he's like, well, right now we're doing a unit on poetry." And I was like, "Oh yeah, cool. Like what poets, right? Because I like poetry." And he's like, "Well, we're actually studying Tupac right now."
Nice.
And I was like, "Okay."
That's taught in schools now. That's awesome.
I'm like, "Well, Tupac. That's good. What else?" And he's like, I'm like, "Any T.S. Eliot?" He's like, "No."
I mean, imagine being such a good poet that Will Smith's wife cheats on him because of you after you're dead 20 years. That's pretty good poetry.
That's fair. That's fair.
I forgot who had the joke after he got shot in the groin. Like said he was almost one Pac.
50 cent, more like nickel and change. Am I right?
Man, I haven't seen you guys in a while.
No, it feels like, how long has it been?
Oh, like maybe 3 or 4 weeks. It's been 3 or 4 weeks, maybe like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time you were on. I mean, the last time you were here is when we recorded the last episode.
How long ago was that?
That was like
was a month
better
ago.
part of a month ago, like at least 3.5 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I've been
around the world since then.
I mean, I've been to fucking Dallas and back, and I've been to Boston and back, but I've also fallen ill.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you got scurvy.
Like I got the rickets,
You got some
man.
pirate rape
I got
disease.
the rickets. It's been
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
What's wrong with you?
I got shingles, man.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not fun.
You should quit fucking roofers so much.
Yeah.
I thought it was from all that shit on a shingle I ate as a kid. but-
The toad in the
I'm
hole.
not the only one that had that. All right.
Yeah. Navy dad?
I got it.
No,
Mine was a Navy grandparent. It gave me,
My dad was in the Navy,
Okay.
or my stepdad was. So
Okay,
my
yeah.
dad was in the Army, and then my stepdad was in the Navy. So.
yeah, I get shit on shingle from my dad, who gets it from his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was in the Navy, and that was, I guess, one of their things.
It's disgusting but tasty.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks horrible,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's if done right,
So what's going on? Your whole skin has AIDS?
I just wanted to say it sounds like we all have faggots in our family.
Yeah. We were the gayest of the military.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
No, I mean we don't have to go deep into it, but it's just like I told Josh, I'm like, oh man, I think I have a spider bite. It's like permeating through my chest, and
He
then
sent nudes. You're like, here, look at this. And I'm like,
hey,
Jesus,
Josh.
man.
yeah, he's like, God damn. And then I did. I sent nudes. And
TMI.
sorry, but I mean, I thought when I thought it was a spider bite, I thought it was interesting. I was like, dude, look at this fucking spider that bit me. And then that was on.
Also, look at my nip.
I also look at my nip. And then by Friday,
You tricked me. You sex trafficked me into looking at your nipple.
Sex traffic, you all right? By Sunday, I was like, "Fuck! I think I have to go to the emergency room." I'm like, fucked up. Like it was
Like you were. Was it just there? Or were you feeling sick?
oh
or-
no, sick, and it was like pulsating through my chest into my back.
Oh my god.
I thought I was having like a heart attack or something.
Yeah.
I've heard it's really painful. Yeah.
It was, dude. I mean, I'm still like, I'm not going to drone on about this. I'm still not 100%, but I'm a world better from where I was even a week ago, and a world better from where I was like 3 weeks ago.
That's what happens when you ask a Baghdadi how their kid died. I'm not going to drone on about it. But it was a UAV.
So how do you get shingles?
It's the reemergence of chickenpox. So if your immunities are low from stress or AIDS or
Yeah, right.
stress
right.
AIDS or
Yeah.
whatever, the virus can reemerge in your body.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. It reemerged, and it was terrible. It was like having the chickenpox again.
Yeah.
I gotta get the new. They have a vaccine for it, which I'm due for. I should probably get it at some point. But I hear the vaccine like kind of knocks you out a little bit.
Makes your armpits smell like popcorn.
I've heard the vaccine is terrible. Is that true?
Really?
Yeah. If you get the HPV vaccine, it makes your knees smell like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You can't go to the movies in the ghetto because your fingers smell like watermelon. It drives everybody crazy.
They talk even more in the theaters then. Like,
So I got sex trafficked today.
wait, what's up with you and sex trafficking? Is
Well, apparently now if you convince someone to go somewhere with the promise of money, that's sex trafficking. And I don't get paid for 2 more weeks at my job, so I got sex trafficked to work. I didn't want to get up. I told them I didn't want to go. They promised me a bunch of money, and I went and did a bunch of shit I didn't want to do.
wait, is this extra money or?
No, it's just the normal amount of money that I normally get. But, you know, I've been, until I get paid, I've been sex trafficked to work. Because you can't tell someone to go somewhere anymore now. That's
Yeah, right.
Andrew Callahan sex trafficked that girl into his room and had sex with her. He basically, we were talking about Drayvon, whatever the fuck his name is, the guy that the Cleveland Brown guys.
I don't know about this. Well, I feel like I don't know about anything.
He gets massages and makes girls touch his butt.
Yeah, that was Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, that's what I said. DeLong Prey Danon.
Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson. What's
Yeah.
his name?
He's got he has a tiny towel.
Yeah.
The tiny terrible towel.
Oh, is that the guy who like farted in the doctor's face, the Raider? No, that was
No,
Chuck
that was
Berry.
different.
that was Chuck Berry.
What fine people we have. I'm a football fan, but some of the if I wasn't from Green Bay, I'd be like probably not a fan.
Oh, I was trying to parse.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm a
the
Packer
truth.
fan. If it wasn't because of that, we're basically just cheering morbidly obese sex offenders concussing each other. So it's,
That's America.
I think they get worse as they get all concussed up too.
yeah.
I thought football was like the end of civilization, like the tiger pits of Rome, like with the vomitoriums.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we were watching people fight. But I think what's worse than that is the yoga, goat yoga that girls do.
Oh God.
yeah.
Where you can do stretch with a baby animal climbing on you.
Yeah.
That's where it's over.
That was I saw that.
Civilization is
That was the
done.
most Austin thing I've seen. Was driving. It was. I think it was at the Austin Beer Garden. They had their little sign out for what's going on in Austin, and it said Friday UFC fighting, Saturday morning goat yoga, and I'm like, that's pretty fucking Austin.
Yeah. They have Pilates where you can have a baby chimpanzee fondle your nuts. It's pretty cool.
Dude,
They have all kind of new stuff.
Have you? Has anybody watched this Chimp Crazy show on
Yeah.
Netflix?
Yeah, it's great.
Holy shit!
Wow.
It's just
I haven't seen
appropriately
it, but
named.
Does she have like a chimp?
She
Like, is
calls it her child.
She's like the relationship between chimps and people is more important than the relationship between you and your actual child. It's like, whoa, bitch.
Did you notice everyone else on there also looks like they got their face ripped off a little bit?
Yeah, did
they
they
all
show-
look
are
like
they
their
gonna-
skin is on their skin.
Wait, is this the
yeah.
lady? Is she adjacent to the lady that gave a bunch of?
No, they covered that.
Okay, because somebody gave like their monkey a bunch of champagne and it ate somebody's face.
Yes.
Okay, that's the.
Yeah, they played the 911 audio.
Oh
She's eating my friend.
Yeah.
Please come. She's eating her face. Please come now.
And Oprah convinced
You
her
can
to
hear
show her
the
face.
Yeah.
What was the thing they had? It was the UT coach that had. He was dating a stripper.
Yeah.
She had a pet monkey that bit a kid on Halloween.
Yeah.
And I'm
It
like,
was
that
one
is
of the football assistant coaches or something.
yeah. He was like a yeah.
Their fucking mouths look like a samurai mask. They have so many fangs.
Yeah.
That's not a pet.
Like that's,
Yeah.
You don't have pets with fangs. I mean, dogs have fangs. But I don't think you can domesticate something that's that close to people.
No.
Because eventually they're going to be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know, the human race really got it right the first time with dogs. We domesticated them perfectly, and we
Yeah.
have never been able to replicate that since. Because cats are shits. You know, they're not like absolutely in love with us the way that dogs are. You know,
Yeah, how have we not bred down chimps to be like a little Chihuahua chimp or whatever?
I mean, maybe we have. Maybe there are species of primates that are. I mean, there are species of primates that are like nice, right?
no, all of them turn to like absolute nightmares at some point. That's why you have to get if you have like a little capuchin monkey or whatever.
Yeah.
Once they hit a certain age, you have to give them up because they just start literally throwing shit at you every time they see you.
Wow.
Like they go insane.
It's nice to have something that's just little forever. That's what's good about school shootings is the kids never grow up, so you always can remember it as a little kid. The Europeans are talking shit about us. Oh, if we don't have that here, oh yeah, well, have fun raising your adults that still live at your house forever.
Yeah.
We don't have
You
that
guys
here.
have more of those.
They die when they're cute, and we can just remember them with a little coffin.
Every time I go to the pool hall, I don't know if you've been to this pool hall by your house, but there's this pool hall. It's close to here. And every table, they have 26 tables. They have as many tables. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yes, there's 26 tables. Each of them start with a different letter of the alphabet, the name, and each of them are a Texas city.
So there's some hustling going on over there.
So, of course, there's a Uvalde table.
Yeah,
oh god.
And because what other town in
rack
Texas?
them up and shoot them.
And every time I go there, I'm like, hey, kids, go to our table. And they always go straight to Uvalde. They know it.
It's like, yeah, and if you start making a big scene and the cops get called, they won't do shit to you.
Yeah.
at that
No.
table. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just wait.
They'll just hang out.
Yeah.
Oh, my kids act afraid about school. They're like, "Ooh, we're gonna get shot." I'm like, "I went to school in D.C. There's bullets, too. People always get shot at schools. There's a kid in my school who's a Rastafarian that came to school with a sawed off in his trench coat, just to be cool, just to get away with it. He didn't do anything. He just wanted to brag and say, "I brought a sawed off to school." Like everybody already thinks you're cool, dude. You have dreadlocks and a Dead Kennedy shirt and a trench coat. You don't need
It's the
to
90s. You're black.
rub
Everyone
everybody's
thinks you're cool. You're
face.
good.
But yeah, if you're scared, people call you a pussy and they go, "What are you, a girl?" And that's why kids are transing now because they're like, "What if I'm a girl? That means I don't have to do anything." Sweet, I'll take it. Of course, then I'm a girl then because then it opts me out of all activity.
Me and Donnie had a side bet before this. How long it would take you to say that women don't do anything? Donnie, who won? I don't.
I don't
So
know.
my joke about Josh is, you know, how the old saying, every accusation is an admission. For Josh, every joke about women is just his wife. Like, you know how women sleep till 2 and don't get a job.
Well, some of us dick them down so hard that they work and we don't have to. We can do comedy, Mike.
No, I earned my keep.
So
That's what I said. I said you earned your keep. That's what I meant.
No, I'm a hobbyist. I do. I've seen how hard like real comics work. That's like no, I'm good. But,
Yeah.
It seems like a great job to have whenever I was 21.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone says, "Oh, you have 1 hour work a night." Yeah, but you have to fly on Frontier Airlines to
you gotta-
Poughkeepsie and stay in a worm hotel.
Yeah.
That's the real work.
I forgot. Did
Just
you read
being
the Sam
miserable.
Talent book?
I did.
I'm in the middle of it.
Yeah.
I bought it for him for his birthday and borrowed it.
I read. I just finished it a few.
I did the thing you can't say where you give someone something and you take it. Crisscross applesauce giving.
All good, buddy. Did you read it? Did you like it?
Oh yeah, no, it was good. I think I know a couple people that teach comedy, and I'm like that should be homework, like titled "Are you sure?"
Yeah.
Like
I've
this
been
is-
watching all his stuff. He says South Mouth a lot.
Really?
Yeah, he said it twice on 2 different comedy videos.
Oh, my God.
For the vagina.
Oh yeah.
That's what it's.
Okay.
That's what it's about.
I'm seeing I'm going to Arkansas later this week for mountain biking to Bentonville, and that's right at the Bentonville Comedy Festival.
Yeah.
And he's doing on Saturday, which I already got my ticket. It's like a wrestling and comedy show with. I'm not even really that big into wrestling, but
He's on Kill Tony tonight in half
Yeah,
an
I
hour.
know. So
we got
he's-
to wrap up.
I think he's probably going to show up at a few mics or some of the showcase shows up there because I think he's like a co-sponsor of it. So I'm like,
Yeah, he still does the dirtbag stuff. He still goes to Mike's and does. He's a punk rocker. So
Yeah.
he still
I
does.
broke
cool.
my carbon. That's
Oh.
a patch on it right there. I don't know
Wow.
about that.
is that wow?
Yeah.
Is that gonna hold that carbon? That looks.
Yes.
That would freak me out.
Yeah. No, it's good. This is being done by a professional.
Oh,
not by
okay.
me.
I was about to say,
No, I'm a fucking idiot.
what is-
I
what is-
wouldn't
what
trust
is,
like
uh,
I wouldn't trust like a I don't know.
Yeah.
like anything that I build.
What is the bike? What,
Santa Cruz 5010.
nice. I have a Santa Cruz Blur TR.
Oh, nice,
Yeah,
man.
thing's
All
a
right.
rocket. It needs a way better engine than I provided.
Yeah.
It's the gayest stream we've ever had. We have two Californians, NorCal
Oh yeah,
and
no, we got to
SoCal.
talk about mountain biking.
We'll
and
talk about
we'll do
wine next.
We'll do
About-
surfing and yeah.
We already talked about our faggoty beers.
I can tell you, this podcast is definitely 50% going to vote for Harris.
Oh man.
It matches the real world odds because no matter what, it's 50-50, no matter what ever happens.
Oh dude. I was at
Stupid country.
Kristen's family reunion this weekend. I was like, dude, your aunts and uncles, because there's 6, or
she
including
a
her
big
dad,
family?
there's 6 siblings. What's that?
Big family, little family?
Big
What are we
family.
talking- Okay.
Big family. Or it's,
How many people are at the reunion?
I don't know, like maybe like 40 in total.
They have a T-shirt.
No, they didn't go that deep.
We had
no.
80 people. We have a T-shirt.
Oh, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, it was in Atlanta, so
you-
you kind of have to.
Oh yeah, you definitely got to do that. Yeah, Black folks always have T-shirts for their family reunions. But yeah, anyway, that was just a little aside there. But yeah, her whole family was there, and it was
They're
like
basketball jerseys.
perfect. It's like perfectly divided. Like half of them are born again Christians, the other half of them are atheists. I'll let you guess which half are voting for Trump and
Yeah.
which half
Yeah.
are voting for Harris.
Atheists for Trump T-shirt.
Atheists
It'd
for
be a good
Trump, yeah.
another T-shirt idea. Well, I keep hearing on the news that there's no cops here. There's like some guy on r/Austin. Some guy moved here from Idaho, and he was like, "I've been here 6 months. I've been speeding on the highway every day. Nobody ever gets pulled over
Yeah.
because they I guess they killed some people during BLM and didn't get a raise, and they got mad, and then they soft quit since then. Like somebody was at someone's house last week with a cop there, and he was like, "Well, we got defunded," so, and they never got defunded.
That's not
No.
true.
They won't do anything because they didn't get as big of a raise as they wanted after they killed some people 4 years ago.
I mean, I lived here before the pandemic, and there's the fact of the matter is that it's a big city with big city problems, and they're not just pulling people over for speeding. Like they're
Every budget they've had since 2020 has
Yeah.
been record breaking, and they just got another one approved in the budget.
Yeah,
But
they're
they're city
also-
workers, and what everybody says about city workers, well, they don't do anything. They'll help you if you are still getting stabbed when they get there. You
Right,
have to
yeah.
be still getting stabbed
Yeah.
when they arrive.
I mean, some city workers don't do anything. Others do a lot.
You know, I worked for the state of California for like 12 years, and
Yeah.
everybody's like, "Oh my God, what a hard I'm like, no, since then I've worked for 4 private companies, and they're all way worse.
Yeah,
managed.
working
Like,
for especially for working for a big company,
Oh, yeah.
it might as well be working for the government.
Oh, yeah.
As
No.
far as just the quality of people that you run into, the quality of the work that's done, the speed that things are done, because it's really, really hard. It's almost as hard to get fired by a corporation as it is to get fired by the government.
yeah. I mean, they both have certain third rails that if you touch, like,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
automatically fired.
Right.
But the more you hear there are no cops, the more my intrusive thoughts start to take over. Especially if you're in an old truck that you don't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
People piss me off, and I'm like, I'll give them a little bumpy bump. Why not? Somebody stepped in front of me. I was like, I could break their leg with my car. The cops aren't going to do anything.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. Yeah.
It's hard to be a psycho with intrusive thoughts and know that there's no cops now
Yeah.
because they become more intrusive.
Because, well, yeah.
I think they'll find you. I think like if you piss them off enough, they'll
Yeah, well, you got to get 6 stars.
You push it. Let us know how it goes.
Yeah,
We'll
I'll
talk
be
about
the guinea pig, the
talk
canary
about
in
it
the
week
coal.
after week. And
Yeah.
we'll see,
When they
where
send
the
the
line
tank
is.
out after you.
Yeah,
let's see.
the
Well,
helicopters.
that guy, I'm sure you know about this, but the guy in Circle C with the whole code enforcement thing, like his lawn was long. They called city code enforcement. City code enforcement came out, knocked on the door, heard a gunshot. You know about this, right?
Yeah.
So they fly. They fly.
Circle C, the
Wait,
C is for
was
cunty.
Was this like recently or
3 years ago.
3 years ago? It was
Post.
North Circle C, right? Because it was
No,
right,
it was right by my house.
it was right by your
yeah,
house.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay, yeah.
yeah. I'm so
Central Circle C.
Yeah. So they
It's like the Orange County of Austin.
it is the Orange County of Austin. That's where whenever people like come out here, they're like, oh Jesus Christ, like you moved to the
Yeah.
Where's the convenience stores? Where's the KFC guy?
You moved to the California colony.
yeah.
Well, that's more like the north, like Round Rock or like the north side. That's like, I mean, that's like you might as well be in San Jose. Like it sucks. That's what I always say. Like people that you see the bumper stickers like "Don't California or Texas," and I'm like, we have California the shit out of
Too
you,
late.
Texas, and it's not in a good way. You're not getting like legal weed and redwood trees. You're getting like strip malls and police brutality.
That's the same thing I say about society collapsing. Don't do that. Society's going to collapse. Too late.
Yeah.
It's collapsed already.
Done, yeah.
So you've done comedy in other towns. You've done comedy in a bunch of other towns, right? You did.
Yeah.
You did the Yerba Mate bar.
I
and
did
then,
I did a lot in Sonoma County and sometimes around the Bay Area. I got to do the Punchline last time I was back in San Francisco. That was fun.
You said you were in Kentucky or something. Or?
We went from Sonoma County to Louisville, Kentucky, and I did a little bit there, but it was never the scene wasn't. I think it's kind of bounced back a little bit, and I don't know. I just wasn't really interested in clawing my
What do
way
they
back
call a
up
comedy
through,
scene when
like,
everybody's fucking each other inbred?
Ugh.
But it's also in Kentucky.
It's kind of yeah.
So you get both.
Okay, that's some. It's all fun and games until you start, because part of my work I read like medical reports, and you read like, oh yeah, they were product of incest. It's in the medical record.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
from Virginia, West
yeah.
Virginia.
Okay. Yeah.
Forget
So
that.
yeah, you know that. Yeah. You know
It's
that.
10 minutes drive to West Virginia if you go fast enough.
Yeah. It's that's John Denver. Take me home, country roads. That's
Mountain
awesome.
Mamba is
Yeah.
your mountain sister also.
Yeah, just don't get out of the fucking car. That's like just it's beautiful. Stay in the fucking car.
Very Deliverance, right?
Oh yeah.
No, that was that little trip I did recently. That was my favorite drive. Was from Cincinnati down to Atlanta because we drove through the eastern part of Kentucky into the Appalachians and eastern Tennessee, and that was the prettiest part of the drive all the way out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were talking to that young blood at Luster Pearl about punk, and he hadn't heard of any of it. We were outside.
Oh God, yeah.
You were telling him about Dead Kennedys. He's like, I've never heard of the Dead Kennedys. And I wanted to tell him Holiday in Cambodia is on Guitar Hero. That's the only touch point that the younger people have for punk.
And even then, it might be too late or too early because Guitar Hero.
But I didn't want you to call me a homo, so I didn't say
But that's how I feel old. Like I was at another gig, and like they were talking to like some of these kids was like, I was like, oh, I saw this really old movie the other day. I'm like, what was it? Goodfellas.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
Pulp Fiction.
I worked
classic.
I worked in the theater the night Goodfellas opened. Like we had a special like midnight screening, and it was amazing. Like when the credits came up, it was like 2 a.m. The credits came up, and it's Sid Vicious singing "My Way," and I lost my shit.
Nice.
It was amazing.
Did you see The Penguin yet?
No, it was
This
good.
kind of reminds me of Donnie Brasco because he's an up and comer, half a wise guy. He's always bitching about he's a middle management kind of.
Oh.
So he's got a guy under him, and he's like, you fucking don't ever give me anything. It's pretty good. It's Sopranos in Gotham, basically.
It's basically like an HBO Batman show without any really. It's just the mob show, but it just has to be about the Penguin.
Oh, okay. It'd be good to see like a DC thing that doesn't suck. Like,
Yeah, I thought the Batman was pretty good.
I want to give it another. It was all right. I was just kind of like a why bother.
Yeah, I mean, we'd already been through so much Zack Snyder trash at that point that I did not care at all. But I was like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
I put on Aquaman 2 on mute the other day just to have visuals in the background of like an aquarium in the room while I'm working. And at the beginning, he's got a baby and it pees on the bed, and his wife is making fun of him, but it's Amber Heard. And I'm like, would you love when people go number 2 on the bed? What's your problem with pissing on the bed, huh?
Was this part of the trial? Is this something that came out in the trial, or
She shit on Johnny Depp's bed.
Yeah, there was a turd on Johnny Depp's bed that she blamed on the dogs, but it was supposedly obviously a human turd.
It was a beautiful girl's poop.
it was a beautiful?
Yeah, if you tasted it, you could tell it was a really beautiful girl's poop. So I got into punk when I was going to school for graphic design, and all the punk bands had logos.
Yeah.
Like Black Flag has obvious branding.
Yeah.
Dead Kennedys has obvious branding. Circle Jerks has their guy. Minor Threat didn't have
Yeah,
anything.
I was gonna say.
Fugazi doesn't have anything. So I thought they were the real motherfuckers because I was studying how to brand yourself and establish it. And I was like, why are these homos? reminded me of the decline of Western civilization. It was like, what are all you people doing with long hairs? Get a haircut. That's all you eating ice cream. I saw them with their logos and their branding on everything, and I was like, you're trying to make a company from your band by putting, it was like the Anthrax guy, the Iffle Snickle flicking guy.
Oh yeah.
Everybody has to have, but I mean, again, that's all you had back then, and it was
Yeah.
print media, so you had
Oh,
to
yeah.
put a stamp on everything.
And I think that was it was Biafra that started Alternative Tentacles, I think. So
Yeah.
it was yeah.
But that was the Sex Pistols too. It was that
Yeah.
that boy band manager that was like, let's get them and make a thing.
That's an interest. Somebody needs to. I need to write this screenplay, or somebody needs to do it because there was a story of.
Weezer,
They were-
the Strokes, they all were put together by somebody.
Yeah. Well, they were going to make a Sex Pistols movie. It was going to be like their Hard Day's Night, and they flew Roger Ebert out. He wrote Beyond the Valley of the
Yeah,
Dolls,
yeah.
like a really shitty sequel to Valley of the Dolls. Russ Meyer skin flick.
There was a show recently that was good about the Sex Pistols.
Yeah.
It was a good one of the directors I like. I can't remember.
I just want to do it would be a really neat vignette of just maybe a couple of weeks of this young writer getting flown out to London,
Yeah.
and they're all fucked up,
Like Almost Famous kind of thing?
Yeah, and they were, and I think he was still drinking at the time, so he was having I don't know if he was where he was in his alcoholic phase, but it would be an interesting little vignette of just that time period where they were all. I think their manager wasn't giving them any money, so they were all dirt broke.
Yeah.
And they were kind of like
They
a
weren't
punk rock boy
fucking him.
band.
He was gay, and he wanted them to hook up with him, and he stopped giving them money. They got sex trafficked into the punk business, basically. He convinced them to go somewhere and do something, and they wouldn't do the thing. So Oasis is back together. If you guys want to go to Mexico City, speaking of getting stabbed,
We go to New York?
I love Mexico City.
Yes.
I go
Yeah, I don't think it's. I think Mexico City, you're fine.
that was my whole identity when I was 18. Because of the Sex Pistols, and because it definitely maybe was, the review I read was that they were ripping off the Sex Pistols and the Beatles, and I was like, well, there's no Sex Pistols or Beatles right now, so I'll check it out.
I don't know if your ears were ringing yesterday, but I brought this up to my family. We were in the car driving back.
Anytime anybody mentions Oasis, my balls do
Balls
a
are
little
ringing.
twirly.
We were in the car, and I think an Oasis song came on or something like that. I was like, oh, I'm like, I'm like, I don't know if you guys know this. It's so weird. I'm like, because how would they know? But Oasis is Josh's favorite band. They're like, Comedy Josh? I'm like, yeah, Comedy Josh. They're like, and my daughter's like, I would have never have guessed that in a million years. He doesn't seem like
They're not my
Oasis.
favorite band anymore. Primal Scream is my favorite band now. But they were my favorite band at a very important time in my life. And everybody's like, oh, you're going to go see the reunion? And I'm like, no, I saw them when I was 18,
Yeah.
when they were 25.
Right.
That was awesome. Now I'm 48, and they're 55. I don't need to see that.
Yeah.
The same reason nobody needed to see Perry Farrell failing to sing last week.
Trying to fight.
Did you see what Dave Navarro did to him? Did you hear the isolated audio? It's basically like when you're trying to talk to a girl at the bar and the music ends, and you're like, I was thinking we could do it in the butt. And everybody in the room's like, because the music ended. He was failing to sing. Navarro muted his guitar, and you could just hear Perry going, Ocean He's not hitting any of the notes. It's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
And he fucked it up, and he can't sing anymore, I don't think. So he threw a tantrum because everyone heard that he can't. They basically Milli Vanilli'd him in front of everybody.
Oh,
That's rough.
Or what that girl that was on SNL that was lip syncing.
Sinead O'Connor? No.
No, somebody lip syncing.
Ashley Simpson?
Yeah, she got in trouble for lip syncing on SNL.
Who would have ever thought Ashley Simpson was actually singing anyway? I would have never assumed that.
Well, it was the whole situation, the awkwardness, and the fact that everybody knew she sucked, and that just confirmed that she sucked. And then she blamed it on her band at the end. She didn't know what to do. And then, but the best part was a week later when she had performed at the Orange Bowl, and she was completely out of tune singing. And at the end, when their song's in, the entire 80,000 person stadium boos her.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
oh,
That's brutal.
wow.
it echoes back on itself.
Yeah,
because she's
yeah.
in like a bowl.
Oh, that's
She's in a vortex of booing.
That's rough.
But I mean, we had to lose Tenacious D and Jane's Addiction to get Oasis back together. I'll take it. That's a good deal. But last time Jane's Addiction broke up, Perry Farrell let all his intrusive thoughts take over and started Porno for Pyros, which was like the psycho version of Jane's Addiction.
Yeah.
He had a bunch of songs about I have a gun, I want to date a black girl, something about rape, I can't remember. all the Porno for Pyro songs were like really fucked up.
Yeah.
It was like My Intrusive Thoughts because there's no police basically in song form.
right.
So maybe he'll redo Porno for Pyros and we'll get some more Psycho Perry Farrell songs. And then Billy Joel Armstrong, the Green Day is now banned in Vegas
I think
because
it's
he
just
said
on the
Vegas
radio.
was a shithole.
Is that it?
He's not wrong.
Yeah,
No,
everybody
Vegas fucking
everybody
sucks.
knows Vegas is a shithole.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the
People
least
who live in
controversial
Vegas.
thing on
Yeah.
earth you
Yeah,
can say.
Speaking
Yeah.
of
Even
punk
people
rock
that-
branding and cool logos, Green Day was the worst.
Even people that love Vegas know it's a shithole.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I know,
like
yeah.
I
They've never advertised themselves as being this great
no, it's
Santa Barbara type.
no, like I can't stand Vegas.
Yeah, we have one thing here.
Yeah.
The McDonald's.
How many, when you lived in Moreno Valley, were you a kid or?
Yeah, I finished high school there. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
you said that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So did you live there as an adult?
2 years in
21.
junior college. Yeah, I like not like I think I just turned 21. Then I went to San Francisco for college.
Okay.
so.
Okay. Because I was going to say the Riverside to Las Vegas connection is very
Oh yeah.
very strong. It's easy to get there. It's
Yeah, you could. I mean, we were too lazy. We would just go to Morongo if we wanted to lose money.
fucking Morongo.
That was the casino Morongo.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
was-
I know. It's still
Yeah.
advertised on the radio.
Oh God. Yeah, it was divey. It was fine, but it was.
I just fucking hate indie casinos, man. Like there's no dice game. Every game has to involve cards.
Mm-hmm.
So even craps, which is the game that I like to play,
Yeah.
you roll the dice,
Yeah.
and then whatever comes up on the dice, then they like deal that many cards out off of 2 decks.
Yeah.
And then whatever the cards are, that's what the value of the dice is. So I'm like, yeah, I rolled a 6. They're like, nope, just kidding. They flip over the cards. They're like, 8 craps, you're out. I'm like, wait, that's fucked. Like, this is a fucking stupid game.
That's all. Yeah, they have the like what the Caribbean poker and whatever.
They have blackjack.
Anytime they have like a fancy game, it's a scam. But
Yeah, yeah.
I thought Caribbean poker was just anal. You ever tried Chinese cocaine? It's just heroin.
Josh, let me show you some Caribbean poker.
yeah. I had a hot brown in Louisville.
I had a hot brown in Louisville on that trip. Yeah,
It sounds like a sex act, but it's
What's
a
a
hell
hot
of a.
brown? What's a hot brown?
It is a hell of. It's the best sandwich you'll ever have.
It
is.
It's like what is it? It's like bread, toast, and then turkey, and then brown gravy, and then toast, and then brown gravy,
Not
and then
gravy.
cheese.
Hold on, you gotta.
No,
gotta
it's not. It's
correct.
white. It's
a
like a
Mernaise.
roux.
It's a
Yeah,
Mernaise
yeah,
sauce.
yeah.
It's like almost like a cheese Alfredo kind of sauce. Oh. And then they put bacon on it, and
Yeah,
then
bacon.
and then tomatoes, and then they slide it back into the oven, and then serve it to you open face, and it's
It's okay. I was gonna say it's like a club sandwich, but then there's almost nothing like a club sandwich other than the
Yeah.
other piece of bread inserted.
It is.
Yeah.
It is the best. To quote Warren Zevon, enjoy every sandwich, and it's the best damn sandwich you'll ever have.
I
Did you
had
get
it
one
in the Brown Hotel.
Yeah,
we
that's- and
went
that's where-
into
that's
the
where you
Brown
gotta go.
Hotel and
Yeah.
had one. Yeah,
I've had some shittier ones. They have shitty ones like that aren't necessarily there, or they try to fusion it. I'm like, no, you gotta go to the Brown Hotel.
Speaking of hot browns, Kamala Harris has been endorsed by the New York Times for the only choice for president, which I hate when they use choice for when they say there's only
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
That's not a choice.
Yeah,
You can't use the word choice when there's one.
yeah.
And they're yelling at everybody to pick a side. They're like, Chappelle Roan won't endorse Kamala Harris for president. It's like everybody's yelling at each other right now. Are you for it or against it? Everybody's got to be like one side or the other. That's how you know you're famous if they come to you to be a pundit
Yeah.
and go, say how you lean on this thing. Like anybody cares.
Yeah.
That's how far out I am from like I don't even know is Chapel Roan, is she American? Like is that
My
where
wife
is she
and my
from?
daughter listen to them in the kitchen.
I don't even know what the fuck
I
that
can't
is.
say-
it's a music person. I found
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like the latest music person.
All right. These guys always have to tell me about things because I don't know about things.
No, I have no idea.
I
what
surf
any
the
of it
internet for a living, so that's pretty
We've
much.
been keeping it 90s so far. Oasis, Green Day, Jane's Addiction.
Yeah.
All the punk talk for the
I know.
most part. I'm
Yeah.
into it.
We can
But
get us
by the
some
way,
pavement stuff if you like.
oh yeah, there's some pavement. If you guys have never listened to the Henry Rollins weekly radio show, you should really check it out.
I love to. I love him. It's
Dude,
great.
he plays all old punk and then like a bunch of like new punk too.
Does he talk?
Nice.
He talks a little bit,
Okay.
but it's always weird. He's like, he always starts it off. He's like, today we'll be listening to the such and such frog in this region. The first track is the spider frog of blah blah blah, and it's like this weird frog sound, and then he
Wow.
Apparently, he
the
gave
music.
Sam Talent his favorite travel tip for semi-famous people. If somebody comes up to you in public and goes, "What are you doing here?" You go, "Same as you, man.
Yeah,
Just leave me alone.
yeah.
Just try and look at the fucking pyramid or whatever."
That's the most fucking Henry
That's
Rollins.
what Rollins says to anybody that recognizes him in public. "What are you doing here?" That's nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
You're not doing a gig? No, I don't want to work. I don't want to be me right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to not be Rollins.
Right.
Let's all just look at the pyramid.
But it's a great show. You should listen to it if you like.
give it a shot.
Yeah, it's nice.
I don't listen to a lot of podcasts, but I'd probably give it.
Oh, it's a radio show.
It's a radio-
on
okay.
a LA radio station, but
okay.
it streams online too. So you can,
nice.
But yeah, Mike and I are going to try to play the samurai game Ghost of Tsushima cross-platform. We just found out it works with PC and PSN.
So who's the fag and who's the cool guy? Who's the PC guy and who's the?
He's the master race. I'm the
PC.
Jew.
Yeah.
Of course.
Nice. Okay.
Olson is the German, and I'm the Jewish guy.
Generally neutral, but yeah.
I don't. Really
He's the guy with the
anymore,
expensive PC, and I'm the one that went cheap and got a PlayStation.
I don't have children. I can.
You can purchase items for yourself.
Yeah.
but I haven't bought anything for myself in the past 20 years.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna go clothes shopping for the first time ever. I'm
Really?
wearing city issue shit for like 13 years.
Yeah. Armpit holes.
It's like
You guys, you're middle-aged men. Why don't you just go to Costco like the rest of us?
Go buy some white New Balances. And some,
Yeah,
some
I-
jeans.
I go in there. I got my flyer like in the hand, and I've got
Yeah.
my coupons like ready to go.
Yeah.
like I'm getting the Costco fall collection now.
I have to buy an Oasis T-shirt because all the rappers are wearing them,
Really?
and my old ones are worn out to the armpits.
you just reminded me. We were talking about Simpsons stuff the last time. Our favorite Simpsons quotes and stuff like that, and I couldn't come up. You know, you put me on the spot. I'm not a quick thinker. I'm a more of a
Yeah,
slow
that's why we
thinker.
bring you on the show.
Yeah,
So good, slow.
we seem like a genius in comparison to this guy. He's a fucking
Oh,
retard.
take it easy.
But I was thinking about it, and my favorite Simpsons thing is when Kurt and Luann break up, and he makes the tape. Can I borrow a feeling?
Yeah, I love that song.
And and Homer finds it in the street after the chick steals his car, and he's like, "Can I borrow a feeling?" And he just starts laughing. So I found this shirt the other day, and it's Kurt Van Houten, and it's like done in this really jazzy style. It's like his face, and it says, "Can I borrow a feeling?"
Nice.
I think I'm gonna have to get that.
Can I borrow a feeling?
Yeah, it's so good.
But yeah, they announced the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. It's
Yeah.
called Ghost of Yotai, and it's a girl now, and it's 300 years later, and she's in the north region of Japan, Mount Yotai, which at that point was not Japan. It was no man's land. It was all Ronin. So I don't know how often she's going to get raped in this game, but a
think
girl in no man's land full of Ronin, what do you think was going to happen? There aren't any women there.
It's just a rape game.
There would never be a girl that would go there on purpose in real life.
She's got a sword.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
assuming.
She's-
I mean, it's a Sony game. She's gonna be a girl boss that fucks up all the dudes.
I know. Yeah, all the incels were butthurt about it. Like, woke
Well, speaking of which, his former boss was chimed in on that
Oh.
discourse.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So it wasn't so much the fact that it was a woman; it was that the person who is the voice actress and also who they modeled the character after
Trans.
is incredibly outspoken on Twitter.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
Mark
then
got involved. You're talking about Mark,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, Mark
Yeah.
Kern. Yeah,
You have to do the whole Konami 99 Lives Contra code to even get out of bed in Ghost of Yotai. It's really hard to even start the prologue. How's she even going to make it to the mountain?
So,
She
yeah,
has to get out of bed first and do anything.
So Chris used to work at Blizzard. He was one of the guys who set up the servers for Burning Crusade, like a big thing, right?
Yeah. And also the Cosby Room. I set that
Yeah.
up. Too.
So
nice.
his former boss is now the #1 culture war gamer guy on Twitter, and he's kind of like the #1 influencer. Really, I mean, he's always talking about whatever the latest controversy is.
That's like being king of the swamp, really.
Yeah.
Like you're like king of Twitter. Like, it's
Yeah.
like,
Does he have a real job too, or is he just?
He's been working on a game called Ember for about the past 7 years that he just keeps taking
that's-
Kickstarter money for.
Gotta love
And
that hustle.
Star Citizen.
yeah, it's very Star Citizen-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Business
yeah.
model.
Dude, they failed to make payroll. So I went to work at a startup that he started, a startup game studio. They failed to make payroll on Christmas, as he's cruising around in his S550 and shit. It's like, dude, you're such a fucking pile of shit. Like the way that he conducted himself in that thing.
Yeah.
The way that he took money from these fucking Chinese hustlers and all of this shit was absolutely absurd. And yeah, fuck that place. I worked there for 6 months and I was like, this is going to be bad. This is going to end bad. They're doing really, really
I mean, within
up
like
stuff.
2.5 years, I think the game was gone. Like, I don't think the game lasted very long.
No.
Firefall was what it was called?
Firefall.
Yeah.
Yeah. It had a moment, too, where like I thought like the gameplay was actually kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But they just couldn't develop it. At
You're
a
like still
speed.
trying to sell the game that's still in your blood somewhere. It was good. It was still good.
No, it
still
was.
good.
It was. It was
Still real to me,
It
damn
was
it.
a fun game.
Josh watching
You
Star
could-
Wars TV.
You could finish the whole game in about 10 hours.
Yeah.
And then they couldn't ever make enough content to then like get you back into the game. It's like, okay, I've literally played all the content in 10 hours. What's next?
It's for incels. They don't last very long.
That's true.
No.
But yeah, I'm wondering what the ghost thing is going to be of Ghost of Yotai, where
Yeah.
it's 300 years later. Because the ghost thing of Ghost of Tsushima was that he was a ninja.
Yeah, and he was like without honor. He was killing
Yeah.
without honor. Yeah.
Yeah, so what's her thing going to be that she's a ghost?
They did a really good job of it. I'll defer. I'll give it a shot when it comes out.
Again, ninjas are silent. I've never seen a woman
Be silent.
sneak
You've never seen a
around
silent
or
woman. There's no-
surprise anybody. They're just squawking around the corner. Bagak everywhere. Speaking of samurais, Donnie is the samurai of the internet. He's from back. He helped invent the internet when the internet was like a honorable place.
Yeah.
Remember,
Yeah.
you'd use net groups, and
When it was honorable.
it was only
Usenet
college
groups,
people
yeah.
using it, and people that with jobs that had the internet at the beginning.
The IRC days.
No,
when it was really-
I destroyed society by letting everybody onto the internet. I was in the
You're
early
the ghost.
2000s.
You're the ghost
yeah.
of internet Shima.
Yeah, in the early 2000s, I was the person who let all of the chain letter grandmas and stupid idiots and people who ended up getting addicted to social media and all that. I let all of them on the internet, and I could have stopped them. I could have just screwed up their dial-up settings. I could have told them, "Oh, that's down." I could have made them
Open the
give up.
floodgates.
But then a guy named Steve Jobs came along and put it in everybody's pocket, and that is why everything sucks now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's a lot of suck.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, the internet is now a garbage heap where you just shit.
yeah.
Just
It's,
poop on it.
it's like a corporate
It's almost
garbage
back
heap.
to its. I remember the first time my friend showed me the internet. I'm old, and it was at UC Riverside.
Oh yeah,
And we were waiting and waiting because he wanted to show me a picture of a lady having sex with a pig.
Yeah.
And that was the internet, and it never came because we were just waiting like one line
Harvey Weinstein?
at a time. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
What year was that? Like
that was
93
probably
or-
like 90. I mean, there was like this was like when pictures were new over the internet, but this was. I graduated in 93, so probably like 94, 95.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was me too, by the way. I was 93. I'm a little bit younger than just a little bit younger than you, and we.
We're going to get into our health issues here in a little bit.
Well, I already told you about my shingles. I mean, that's the most old man fucking thing.
Yeah,
to do.
Donnie's on heart pills. I don't even want to go to the doctor. I don't want to know what's wrong. There's probably a lot.
Yeah.
I'm
Have you
gonna
got to
find
that part of
a
running
cyst
the light
with
yet?
teeth
When you
inside of me.
just wander off into the forest and die like
Yeah,
a
I want to
cat.
be a silver
Like,
alert with a Chrysler on the billboard. Where'd he go?
Dude.
He's gone.
No, I'm. Me too. Actually, I thought about this quite a bit. I'm like, when I'm ready, I'm going to be one of those newspaper articles where they're like, no foul play suspected.
Yeah.
His truck was found off the highway. He was 50 yards from the truck.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be a very clear cut thing that happened.
I want the neighbors to call about the smell.
I
That's the best way to
want to
go
like
out.
raise some kind of havoc like in the.
I need to
tri-state area,
inconvenience
like-
everyone one last time.
You should then like jump off of an overpass and like stop traffic on like multiple freeways.
yeah. My thing has always been I have no problem with dying unless as long as
Yeah.
everybody else dies too.
Yeah.
I want my death to destroy the world. I want me dying to cause the extinction of
You want to
humanity.
be a Death Stranding void out.
I want me to be the dead man switch that causes the nukes to launch. That's what I want. Yeah.
I mean, you could jump
I think
off.
I could die really, really peacefully knowing that everybody else was coming with me.
Right.
I really could. Yeah.
You could jump off a building into someone you hate. That'd be cool. Cancel it out.
yeah, that'd be a good way to go.
Yeah.
Want the last kiss?
I've had people ask me like, "Oh, like, are you ever worried about flying around with your family?" And I'm like, you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm not worried about flying. No, because if like we all die, I don't give a shit. The thing that would bother me is if I die and they're still alive,
Yeah.
and they're like opening my computer and being like, "Oh shit!"
right, yeah.
Like that would be a thing that would bother me.
Well, if there's a zombie apocalypse, you and I die first because we have people we care about.
Right.
Yeah.
So
right.
that's what kills you.
Yeah.
Norman Reedus still has his own show after Walking Dead.
He doesn't have it. He
Him
doesn't
and
need
his
anybody.
Motorcycle and a crossbow.
Yeah. Right.
You got to hate everybody and never have kids or a wife, and then you can
Hey.
eat other people's wives and children for dinner. Cormac McCarthy style. So Kyle Chandler is being in talks for the Hal Jordan in a was it a Green Lantern show because one episode of The Penguin did good. Now DC is
Yeah.
like we're gonna do everything.
Yeah,
They're
right,
doing a Disney.
right, Yeah.
Like we had one success and we're gonna do a million shows now. So they're selling everything now.
I don't know who this is or what this movie is.
Kyle
So Kyle Chandler is the coach from Friday Night Lights.
Oh,
And he's
that
like
guy.
he's like
Yeah.
59 years old. So it's like, is it going to be an old Green Lantern?
Green
or
Lantern's
what's
the
going
guy
on
from
there?
DC
Yeah.
Comics. There's a
Ah,
ring
okay,
that can
okay,
make things happen.
They made a shitty Ryan Reynolds movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they are. They got to pay the bills.
The rabbit. Yeah, and people get mad at businesses for being greedy.
Yeah.
They exist to make money.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe that business is being so greedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but they should.
Nobody starts a company so they can not feed their children's children.
They're just not that good at it. It's like
It's my
Supposed to lie and hide it and act like you're not.
my frustration is why aren't you better at making money by giving the customer what they want? And now some companies are really good at that, like McDonald's, you know, but there are some where like, no, we know this is going to be good and you have to like it. And then if people don't like it, they're like, well, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Well, the demographic when we were 18 to 25 was males 18 to 25.
Yeah.
Because we had money. And it's been following us because the millennials don't have any money and Gen X's don't have any money. So now the next Transformers movie is a Transformers G.I. Joe crossover because they're like 50-year-olds will still go to the movies.
yeah.
Let's get these guys. They still have money.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's jumping the shark. Jesus.
Yeah,
That's,
that doesn't sound good to me.
I'll go.
I mean,
I'll totally go to the movie and see that.
some of the Transformers, they were fine. They're just, I mean, at least now they're just making it. They were all animated anyway. They were all just a bunch of CGI. So
Yeah.
now they're actually back to animation roots. I'm like, okay, that's at least.
Yeah. There were several times I'm like, hey, remember when movies were good? Remember whenever there was, there were way more better. It seemed like they were learning how to make things better. And then at some point a few years ago, they just kind of stopped making things better.
Hey, but things have gotten suckier the more gray hairs I get. So I might be getting grumpy. I think it might be part me.
I bet that there's really good shit. It's just not mainstream shit.
I've started hating everything a lot more recently while things have started sucking more.
Since I've
They're in
known
sync.
you, your hate has increased considerably. I've only known you for like a year, and from the time that I met you until now, I've noticed that you've hated a lot more things.
Sound like the Emperor. I can feel the hate inside of you. It's getting stronger.
I don't know the reference, but
Oh, yeah. Chris has never watched any Star Wars.
Really?
yeah, I'm a weirdo.
He only watches what-
how do you?
He only
Like,
watches what
like,
women.
you
He
have
lets
to,
women
like-
have the remote every time.
Yeah.
So he
You have
never
to, like-
holds the remote.
You have to put in effort to like not see any Star Wars.
Here's the truth. The truth is that as a kid, they were definitely on when I was around, like at parties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I never like watched them like start to finish. So like you might say a reference and
And then
I'll
you kinda-
I'll
okay.
know it or whatever. But I couldn't tell you like start to finish what happened in A New Hope or
No.
Empire Strikes Back. Or
Nothing.
Something like that.
Nothing happens. It's the hero's journey. They all end up back at the same place at the end.
Now, having said that, having said all of that, I just watched the 1989 Roadhouse movie a few months ago.
Yeah.
And then I watched the 2024 Jake Gyllenhaal one.
So you do put effort into watching gay movies.
Well, I was on a plane, and my buddy was like, "Have you ever seen the Roadhouse movie?" I was like, "No." And he's like, "Well, you should watch it." And I was like, "Oh." It's kind of interested in the Jake Gyllenhaal one too because Conor McGregor's in it.
Yeah, I watched them both recently.
Oh, you
I
have
watched
too?
the old one when I knew the new one was coming back out again,
Yeah.
and it was awesome. I mean, it's 1989.
It's fucking it is awesome. and
It's a Tai
stupid.
Chi movie about how you
And
can kill everyone.
And it's got philosophy in it. He's kind of a poet. You know?
He's like, yeah.
Here's the thing about that movie though, is this is like
Oh, one of the new one.
the old one, and I don't want to give a spoiler away.
Yeah.
It's 1989.
But yeah.
All right.
Dalton could have ripped that guy's throat out the whole fucking time.
Yeah, yeah,
he's a
right.
monster.
Right,
Like he
yeah.
could have just any time. He was just toying with him.
Yeah.
There were so many dudes that watched that movie and they were like, if I just meditate and get ripped in the top of a barn, hot chicks will just find me.
If I get a
I don't
philosophy
have to
degree
do
from
anything.
NYU,
Well, it's like that,
and, yeah.
Patrick Swayze was one of those guys where it's like I could be him, you know.
Yeah.
I have.
Although that movie does have one of my absolute favorite movie lines of all time, which you have to know what that is. Well, you watched it recently. You have to know which one that is, Chris.
Well,
There's
give
so
me
many
a
good
clue.
ones. The movie's full of
Wasn't
lines.
What do you got?
I used to fuck
I used to-
guys like you in prison.
I used to
or something.
fuck
yeah.
guys like you in prison. When the dudes at that last fight
The
between
last fight,
Patrick
yeah,
Swayze,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know? I used to
when
fuck guys
when
like
he
you in
said
prison.
that, I laughed out loud on the plane.
You know?
I was like, oh, people were looking at me like, you don't laugh on planes, bro.
But they were in the water. It was more gay that they were
Yeah.
in the water.
Yeah. If you want
They're all wet.
if you want a treat, it's not a. I mean, it's my friend's movie. He did. He was a comic that I worked with in California, and another friend of mine was an actor, and that brought him along to an audition. And it's the mixed martial arts movie, American Brawler.
American
I think
Brawler.
If
Huh?
you see, it's on Netflix, and he's the star. My friend Marco Antonio Alvarez is the lead. You got to look it up. IMDb.
Nice.
It was
I'm just
Barrio
gonna add it
Brawler,
to my
but then they
Netflix
changed it.
Q.
And yeah, it is what it is. The fights are pretty good because he's
Oh, I've seen the poster for this.
yeah, that's
yeah.
you see the poster, that guy in the front. That's Marco.
Okay.
I get
Yeah, this dude right here.
wait. Is it wait?
Well, that's just the
No,
Brawler.
no. Yeah, no,
but
you gotta
I
look up
Googled
for-
American
no.
Brawler.
Let's see it on
I mean, it pops up on IMDb. It's got a
Do I
4.2.
need to look on.
or Barrio
Swedish.
Brawler.
Okay, so it comes up as Barrio Brawler.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that looks like what would be on Netflix now?
It
What's direct to video?
It was a straight to video.
Yeah.
I think it was the same people that made Sharknado production company.
Holy shit! Does it have a Benoit? Morgan Benoit?
We did our first stream of Sharknado. It was a tweet stream
Really?
at a bar. We had a live tweet along with the show and try to get on TV because
It's like all the
the
Benoits
funniest
are
tweets
dead.
got put on the commercial break.
Oh, wow.
nice.
If you want an
doing the
even
comedy
shittier
contest.
movie, they made Birdemic.
Birdemic.
It's actually because they shot it in Sonoma County, so they're making all these really shitty references to little towns in Sonoma County that nobody's
with
ever heard
with
of.
the birds that just go like that.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, no, I my first podcast that I ever listened to were bad movie podcasts,
Oh,
and
okay.
Birdemic is about as legendary as The Room as far as shitty movies, like
Troll 2.
good bad movies. You know,
Yeah, there's got to be a threshold though, because they got to be like they can't be so shitty that they're unwatchable. Like
Right.
that's the
Yeah.
difference.
well, they have to actually be trying, and the person who's making it has to think that they're making a good movie.
yeah.
And a lot of times it's better whenever they're not American, because sometimes the best bad movies, like The Room, or have you ever seen Samurai Cop?
No.
There's a lot of those where they're people who were born in other countries. They moved to America, and their whole dream was to be an American movie maker, but they don't quite understand
Yeah.
things right, and so they come off really weird, but funny in like a really awkwardly funny way. That's like Samurai Cop is awesome. Yeah.
I'll put in a pitch for Dolomite 2, The Human Tornado.
Yeah.
That's like the perfect, because Dolomite 1 is damn near unwatchable, but Dolomite 2, they got a little bit more budget. It gets really, really weird and avant-garde, and it's got
Soundtrack? How's the soundtrack?
it's like typical
More wah-wah
porno.
pedals?
Yeah, it's yeah.
Waka-chicka.
But it's also got a very brief role of Ernie Hudson from the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that was his first.
I think it was, which sucks. I mean, because the guy was classically trained like at Juilliard.
Yeah.
And then he's in some black exploitation movie of like Dolomite, the cops are coming.
Have you seen Petey Wheatstraw?
Yeah, that's
Petey Wheatstraw is my favorite one of his because it
Yeah.
is off of the wall. It is like
Did you see the Eddie Murphy Dolomite thing
Yeah,
on Netflix? That was
and
good.
that's what I loved about that actually was like because he gave it the respect because
Yeah.
those movies were shitty, but he made a movie.
Yeah.
like he went out and did it. That's-
and to do it back then too.
yeah.
I mean that's a pretty big accomplishment to
yeah.
make
Those
the movies that they
weren't a
made
vague
back
mess
then.
either.
Yeah.
They had a goal and
Yeah.
they achieved the goal of
Yeah.
the movie. This guy's a badass. Look how awesome he
Yeah.
is. That's the point of those movies.
Yeah,
and they
absolutely.
did it. They did a
Yeah,
good job.
No,
You're not blindly in the dark going, "What is this even about?"
There's a picture somewhere. I've got it hidden, or somewhere in my up in my office of me with Rudy Ray Moore.
Awesome.
He
Yeah.
came to San Francisco State and he did stand-up comedy.
Nice.
His opening act was Aunt Esther from Sanford and Son. She was in rough shape. Like she was in a wheelchair for half of it. She auctioned off her underwear at some point to some college student.
That's funny.
It was some weird shit. But Rudy Ray Moore like super nice guy out hustling his merch. I bought like signed autographed pictures of Rudy Ray Moore for all my friends.
So cool.
And they're cherished items. I still actually a friend of mine.
You don't have to put a Black Lives Matter poster in your front yard because you bought Rudy Ray Moore's T-shirt.
I am an ally of Rudy Ray Moore.
You can't spell an ally without anally. So there's another Batman spinoff. The Boardwalk Empire creator exited this spinoff about Gotham Police. It was being made by Matt Reeves, but he hired the Boardwalk Empire creator and then said he fired him because he wasn't feeling it, which is the same reason Weinstein fired all those girls because they wouldn't feel it. Clearly, you're not feeling it. You're embarrassing me. You'll never work in this town again.
There wasn't much there to feel with Weinstein.
He had a suspicious package. She had seen something and said something.
Is that a thing? Is Weinstein notoriously?
He has a incredibly mutilated penis due to gangrene or something. And apparently, his whole thing is he would just go down on them. So he would. That's almost worse, right?
Yeah.
Who wants tempura?
Force them
Anyone?
to receive oral from him. You know.
Oh man.
That all came out in the court documents, right?
I thought the catch and kill thing.
Yeah.
This is why, like, I'm not a big fan of the band Hole, but I really respect Courtney Love because she was calling him out on that shit for years. Like, whereas everybody else is like, it's like an open secret,
Right.
and everybody
She killed her
kinda
husband and got
knows.
away with it. It's
Oh,
pretty
Harvey.
dope.
That's true.
And Courtney Love is like, no, he's a fucking rapist, and
Yeah.
like I think her and like, the Family Guy,
Seth
guys.
MacFarlane.
Yeah, I think he
they
called him out.
They
on it.
called him out on it too. Yeah.
And like, I mean, in a joking way, but it's like, what are you going to do? But at least that was something.
Courtney Love is one of those people who is exactly as awesome as she is a train wreck nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she's both at the same time, right?
She hates Weinstein. Heaven forbid you should take advantage of someone and take all their things from them.
Well, although,
Like killing someone and taking all their money from their live album afterwards.
did you see though?
Takes
Now
one to know one.
Courtney Love is now her in-law is now Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have a kid.
Yes.
She has her granddaughter is Kurt Cobain,
Yeah.
and the descendant of Kurt Cobain and Tony Hawk.
That's the Pog of babies.
How
It's
is
the
Tiny
Power Ranger of
Tony Hawk?
babies.
It's the
So-
Kozak cataract of the 90s. Not my joke.
The chosen one. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it is like breeding. It's
Yeah,
like the,
right.
It's
Yeah.
like the Benny
Jesus
Gesserit
has
of the
come back.
90s.
So Francis
Tony
Bean
Hawk's
Cobain is
son.
married to Tony Hawk's son, and they just had a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, but Francis Bean's a dude, right? It's a gay.
No, it's a girl.
Girl.
Francis Bean is Kurt Cobain's daughter.
No. Oh, I thought
Yeah.
it was a son.
It was a guy, but he didn't want to do anything, so he trans. And I was like, this gets me out of doing anything, right? Now she's her.
Oh, got it. Okay.
She was always her. My bad.
What was the boy? Anyway, whatever.
Frances Bean, there's pictures of the baby girl
Yeah.
with Courtney.
I have.
There's a picture of that child looking at Courtney Love with a horrified face. Where Kurt's holding her and she's looking at her mother like, I can't.
Don't
She
kill my
wanted
dad.
to disown her then when she
Wow.
was 0.
Wow. Yeah.
And she ended up disowning her later.
Apparently, Michael Stipe did their wedding.
Yeah.
That's
Man.
that's me in the corner.
They were all shiny, happy people.
Yeah.
No, I was big. My musical like awakening was Nirvana. That was the thing that I got it. That was when I became this is the music guy. You know, I mean, I was into stuff before that, but it was really Nirvana that really made me into like everything. You know?
I was old enough when he died to be like, yeah, of course he killed himself.
Yeah,
He's
right.
sad.
Yeah.
It's been sad.
I
He
mean,
had
I-
a song called "I Hate Myself" and I wanted to die.
Yeah. I love Nirvana. I also, but I loved thrash metal. That was probably my first real thing where I was like, I loved Megadeth and
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were
Metallica
talking about
and
like
Anthrax.
suicidal tendencies.
No,
Oh, yeah.
no, like the big four.
Thrash metal, not thrash punk.
Yeah, like thrash metal. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you know the first Incesticide, was that the first?
Bleach was the first Nirvana album.
Yeah.
Bleach. It actually had a lot of that feel to it. A
Yeah.
lot of that kind of more like
More dirty,
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was listening to the first Beck album in my car recently, and I love it. It's still so lo-fi. He has a song called "Fucking with My Head." It's really good.
yeah. Oh, I don't.
Is
know
that,
if I
is that soul sucking jerk on that one?
Yep.
Or was that that's like my anthem whenever I quit a job.
Yep.
Is I blast.
Yeah, "Fucking
back.
with My Head" is my breakup anthem.
Oh, there you go.
So is this pre-Odelay? Odelay's
Yeah.
the second album, right?
It's third
Third. Oh,
because the loser one was the big one.
that's Mellow.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Mellow Gold, Mellow.
Yeah.
Mellow Gold is the one that had Loser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Odelay
So
was
that's the
after
second
that.
one.
Odelay was the big. That was the Chemical Brothers, Dust Brothers.
Yeah.
Were
I
you
need to go
were you
back
No
and
Means
listen to
No?
them.
Yeah. What's that?
No Means No, the band.
No, I don't.
Oh, you should check them out. They're very
Speaking of
bass heavy
Weinstein.
Canadian. Yeah, there was
No means
yeah, very bass heavy. Check them out. They're really fun. They're probably the most accessible. More like thrash punk would be like. Actually, almost a little poppy was their last like full album was All Roads Lead to Asphalt. But they're some Wrong is like their main one that everybody knew them for. But I saw them live that was an amazing show.
Okay, I'll check it out on the way home.
Yeah,
Nice.
They're awesome.
I was about to say I'm always looking for new music, but I guess I'm always looking for new old music.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
right.
hard. It's like,
Porno for Pyros is getting back together.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm about like 10 years behind like on my music. Like it was somebody that was like big in 2010.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
didn't know.
It used to take so much effort to find a new band to be into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go to the listening station at Tower, take some shrooms.
Yeah.
Nobody look at me.
Nobody look.
Everyone knows.
Who's that? I found the Archie Bronson outfit. They're like kind of like they're like almost like retro, kind of like almost like the Black Angels, kind of like the retro like acid rock from the 70s.
Yeah.
It makes you want to like
Okay.
smoke a bowl and think about Nom. Like
Yeah,
it's kind of that vein, and they're
Tuesday.
yeah, but they're pretty good. Black Angels are awesome. They're local, so
Black Angels
I like
were at
Black Angels,
Psych,
yeah.
Psych Fest.
yeah,
Yeah, they run the site.
They that's
Yeah.
their festival.
Oh, that's their festival.
okay.
Oh,
I
didn't
lived
know
at the same apartment of them when I moved here in 04, and they put their stickers on my truck, and I was like, I'm not mad at it. I looked it up. I was like, this is actually a good band. I'll just
Yeah.
keep the sticker on there.
yeah. I
all
went
good.
to. I'm missing the Psychos. I'm going on vacation, but it's coming up here in a little bit. So
I went to the one in April, the one with Black Angels, Kurt Vile, and Always, and a bunch of bands, obviously. But
I still want to go to Fantastic Fest. I keep hearing about it every year. It's a nerd film thing.
I went and saw Strange Darling, and that was a Fantastic Fest Presents at Alamo Draft House. So I saw one of their movies. I don't know if you guys haven't seen it. It's coming on streaming. It's pretty damn good. It's Strange Darling. So it's starring this guy who's always in these interesting movies now, and his name is crap. I can't remember the guy from Strange Darling's name. Kyle Gallner, and he's been in a bunch of like kind of indie movies where he's always a really interesting character. And this is basically one about a serial killer hooks up with somebody in a hotel room, and then things just get crazy from there.
Things get crazy, like a joy of painting.
Yeah, it's one that nobody heard about. No, it's one of these things like, you know how, it's either giant blockbusters that flop, but these little movies, they either get released direct to streaming and nobody knows about them or whatever. This is one that actually got a theatrical release. So I was like, I'm going to go see this in the theater because this is the kind of movie that you would just go see in the theater in the 90s.
Yeah.
It would just be in the theaters,
Yeah.
And it was really good. It was a really good, it had some cool like kind of twists and things that it did that you don't really see these days, It was pretty good.
Nice.
So we went and saw Mike at the Luster Pearl showcase 2 Fridays ago.
Nice. Yeah.
They had him open, and then we were going to leave, but then Aaron showed up. He's my neighbor, so I wanted to see him. And then he didn't come to the stage because he was in his car smoking weed.
Oh yeah.
So the host was like, Aaron Cheatham, Aaron, Bueller,
yeah.
anyone?
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. So some people had to go out in the parking lot and find him in his car, and he was like, yeah, all right, I'll be there in a second. I mean, it's not a huge deal. It's Luster Pearl.
Yeah.
But it was more fun to watch the host freak out.
Yeah.
Because I know Aaron for years, and I'm like, yeah, of course he's smoking weed in his car. That's what I'd be doing. That's awesome.
Oh man.
But I hate to be the guy that, you have a comedian on and you go, say something funny, but you had a funny baseball bit, and Donnie wasn't there. And Donnie loves
God,
baseball.
You want to hear my?
Yeah.
All right. This is. I will do this. I need to get a clip of this because it's clean, and my brother's an English or the Spanish teacher and loves baseball. That he could play
Chop
for
it
his
out and
class.
send it to you.
All right. No, it's basically it's not so much that I'm like a big baseball fan. It's just I love insane statistics about baseball.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you watch the game, just the shit that announcers just pull out of their ass. It's amazing. It's just like step into the plate is Pedro Jimenez. Pedro was traded to the Orioles in 2015. Interesting fact about Pedro, he was born with a cleft palate, which makes him the first left-handed shortstop with a cleft palate to play in the majors. Since 1922, when Larry the Lisping Lefty Magnuson played for the Cincinnati Reds. Interesting fact about Pager, a lisping Larry. He was also the first ball player to bat over 350 in ballparks south of 52 degrees latitude on cloudy days that start with the letter T.
That is probably an actual statistic.
Yeah,
They're hired to provide color commentary.
What I kind of want
to
to
fucking come up with something.
if I were
It's
more
baseball.
if I were more of a comedy anarchist, and I may do it one day, I want to take that bit and just keep going with it.
Yeah.
And just
Yeah,
do
just
it.
do it forever,
Do
yeah.
10 minutes of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just wait for people, just flog that flaccid cock of a joke until it ejaculates comedy, and just do it. Like for
I wanted to
days.
do that at Luster because we always end up just performing for each other. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to do riffs on how's everyone doing. Let's hear it for the troops. I'm going to try some new stuff. So what else is going on? Well, that didn't work. A little bit about myself. That's my time.
Yeah, you gotta
Tip
end it on
your
that's
bartender.
my time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just do like how ridiculous all that stuff is because we're performing for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to have this bit that I would do like a long time ago where I'd come out and I'd be like, hey, what's up, everyone? Oh, pussy, I got fucked, blah, blah, blah. Just kidding, I'm not a chick. I can't do that. Like, that's my time. Have a nice time.
My vagina boogers fart. Sorry, I'm not Sarah Silverman. I can't get away with this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was basically it.
That is kind of the test, though. Like, if you have a bit that actually can get like any kind of laugh in an open mic, it's probably pretty fucked up because most of us are
Yeah,
really,
right.
like kind of twisted. But it
It's
kind
a
of lets
support
you
group.
know.
We're all there for each other.
Oh yeah, no, I did a bit on amputee porn.
Yeah.
That
Dude.
was
I did a bit on amputee
really.
porn.
Oh my god, it's
You guys make a full human together
Okay,
when you
watch-
put the
did-
thing together.
I want to know yours, and I'll tell you.
Oh
mine.
no, it was just because I deal in medical stuff from work, and you get amputees, and I was trying to figure out what the actual term for what was left, and it's stump. That's it.
Stump,
It's-
okay.
Yeah, that's it. Not armus gonus or legus missing.
Right.
Nothing
Nothing-
Latin or anything.
nothing
No,
fancy.
it's just
Yeah.
it's
Just
just
a
like
stump.
stump.
Yeah.
That's
like
as
the
far
word
as they got.
midget. You
Don't
think they
try and
would've
dress it up,
mentioned
Mike. It's a fucking stump.
Yeah, no, and so that's
Come
how
here,
you
Stumpy.
and that look. Just googling that, that's how I went down the deep dark road of internet or of on the internet of amputee porn.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
Oh no, there's not that much there. It's basically it's just like that's it. Which
Okay.
I'm grateful. Tammy Hooks and Bobby Nubbs have found work. It's I guess I'm old fashioned. It's like pegging is so 2015. It's all about stumping now. It's
There's some
I wasn't sure if you had a punchline or not. I thought you got stumped.
no, that's nice. I mean, it's a okay bit. It's sick. It's something that comics will laugh at.
Yeah.
But wait, so what's yours?
Okay, sorry. Yeah, mine's basically the way that people get into amputee porn. It's like you're watching some normal porn where like some guy's getting fucked by a horse in the barn.
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday, exactly.
If you're anything like
then-
me,
if you're anything, yeah. And then
You guys know what I'm talking about, right, guys?
The next thing that and like you're like hard, you're about to come, you're like right there, and then the next thing that comes up is amputee porn, and some dude is like fucking a chick with a stump, and you blow your load like right as that comes on, and you're like, well, I guess I came with it.
Must be into it
I'm
now,
into
yeah.
it, yeah. And so that's like how people get into amputee porn. No one's like into it. They only get into it because it like comes up the next.
It imprinted on you.
Yeah.
I
Like
wonder
your
about that.
virginity.
Like how much
Yeah.
shit did you have to try before you figured that out? Like that's
Yeah.
that's got to be.
Yeah.
If you read the book, I don't know if you ever read the book. It was the pickup artist book, The Game.
Oh,
Yeah, I read that
know
one, yeah.
about it.
Neil
I did
Strauss,
read about
yeah.
it.
I read it.
It's a good if you have a daughter, give her that book just so she can know all the shitty like pickup
Yeah.
Yeah.
techniques.
The negging and all
It's
that.
it's such shit. It's like it works to an extent, I guess, but whatever. But he wrote a sequel called The Truth, which it was kind of took it a little further, and he realized he was a sex addict.
Yeah.
It's a good book. Like he hangs out with like fucking Corey Feldman in his harem, and he tries like polyamory and shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a crazy ride. But part of it was he like realized his dad secretly had like a disability fetish, and like his mom like shared all of this. Like, oh man, I saw this like disability naked lady pictures or
Yeah.
stuff because this
Yeah,
is like
right.
old timey porn, and it fucked him up good. Like
Huh.
that's part of why he's that way.
No, I had a fetish accidentally get unlocked recently because I was watching. I'm not into humiliation porn, but I was watching a regular porn, and then that voiceover came on. It's like even if you have your phone turned all the way down to like one, hitting it up once from mute sound.
Yeah.
The voiceover comes on and goes, "Hey loser, stop jacking off by yourself. There's real girls out there." And it was too late. I was already into it. And I was like, well, I guess I like getting yelled at by an AI voice woman.
Yeah.
He likes humiliation now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Achievement unlocked.
Yeah.
And then speaking of pop-up things, I had this pop-up ad that keeps coming up on YouTube about the Sandy Hook Promise. It's like a charity or something for the victims. It's a weird thing to call it because Alex Jones was telling them it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we promise. Our kids died.
Yeah.
I promise my kid did get killed. This is the Sandy Hook Promise. Alex Jones' dad lives next to my mother-in-law. I was telling Donnie last week. And he keeps moving all his shit over there. All his documents and everything.
Alex Jones is moving all of the shit.
He's getting rid of his valuables so they can't sue him and take all of the shit from his house.
Well, yeah, because he owes like
So he's putting all the rich stuff
$100
at his
billion
dad's
or
house.
something, right? Oh, yeah.
And probably all the documents.
Yeah,
so now he can't do his show and go, I have all the documents right here.
Right.
Because they're all at his dad's house. So he can go, I have all the documents at my dad's house.
They just gave the order to liquidate InfoWars and sell InfoWars off completely.
I think Elon Musk joked about buying it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, you people.
Elon Musk is a comedian. He got booked for SNL, and he made the hilarious joke about assassinating Kamala and Biden, and he's defending himself. No, just kidding. He's being
Making a joke,
investigated.
yeah.
I will
Like,
say
I'm a joker.
I do believe Elon Musk is a real life Tony Stark, and we should lock him in a cave with terrorists to unleash his full potential.
Yeah, turn him into a good guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
Force him to invent something cool.
Yeah.
I have that. My confession is that I have spent more time on Twitter than he bought it than I ever have before. Because it's where all the shit posting is now. The
Donnie's
best shit
Red Shoe
posting is
Diary
still there.
confessions.
It's dumb Trump conservative conspiracy theory shit a lot, but also there's really, really good shit posts. All the comedians are still on it, you know.
Well, I mean, they win because they don't give a shit about truth or
Yeah.
anything. So, like, yeah, if they win the meme war, they're funny. They're way funnier than liberals because most liberals have empathy and yeah. So I'm with you. I think that those guys are really, really fucking funny, but also they're evil, stupid piece of shit.
Yeah.
Twitter was a cesspool. Yeah, it's always been a cesspool.
It's always been, but it was a
Yeah,
different
like,
kind of cesspool, and now
yeah.
it's basically like the 4chan cesspool, and before it was the bitchy, clapback cesspool, I guess.
Remember, truth used to be a non-smoking thing, and now it's Trump's thing.
Yeah.
He's co-opted now the truth.
God.
Yeah.
What that even means.
I just like Twitter for comedy was actually okay. Like you could do. I would post like one-liners on there. It was funny.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
The limits make you.
Yeah.
Learn
It was
brevity.
Like, it was like a haiku. It kind of forces you to like think and condense and
Yeah.
do it.
Succinctness, yeah.
But then people actually try to have discourse on there. Like I'm going to do like 15 fucking tweets telling you all about that, and that's
Yeah.
whatever. Just write an article and have
Do a
somebody
live journal.
edit it.
Start your own live journal.
Yeah, like this is discourse now, and now we
blog.
have, and now if you don't have the patience for that, we got TikTok of just
And
people
Twitter
screaming
really-
in their car.
Twitter really did like chop up people's thought process in a way that made them. It's almost like little programming instructions. It seems like it made people more susceptible to like little hits of almost programming. It's really weird to see how that happened. But now TikTok is the next version of that, but it's video.
I hate TikTok so much. I know I should be on it. It's like
You're going to be, because all these clips go on.
Good. I know.
I can't tag you. You have to start one so I can tag you now.
Hopefully, the Chinese overlords are not hearing this.
I, for one, would like to welcome our overlords.
It's just me, a grumpy old man. It's just a noise that doesn't stop. It's like it's a clip after clip, and I'm like, it goes to the next clip. I'm like, I don't want to. I clicked on the thing.
Yeah.
I got the thing. I didn't want the next thing, but you're giving me the next thing.
I mean, it's forced in your eyeballs.
Yeah.
And
I hate when gay media forces itself down my throat.
But so I've been on the internet since like '96, and I've watched it all
darkness.
happen. And so that's why I don't like a lot of that stuff, because I can see what it is and what it does to people. Right? I got off social. The only social media I'm on is I go to Reddit to read like more long form comments. But other than that, I go to Instagram to see pictures of the children in my family, and that I don't really get on and like have a discourse. I don't type.
I enjoyed social media until it became all about selling stuff, and then I was like, all right, I guess I'll start a show and just use social media to sell this show.
Right.
Yeah, I'm on
Since
Reddit.
we're all selling shit.
Although actually, like selling stuff for like shows, that's actually what pisses me off, especially like with the local shows now. They're all on Instagram, which is a really shitty way of getting information across. It's like, here's a flyer, and then here's some notes on it, and it's sort of in the feed, and it flashes and it goes away, and
every time there's a button that says "Get Ticks Here," it doesn't lead to the ticket link anyway.
And I hate to say, Facebook actually did pretty well, and I know everybody hates Facebook because their parents are on there, but it's like it actually. And you hated getting the event invites of like, no, I'm going to go to your fucking show.
Were you guys
I'll hit maybe.
Were you guys at South Mike with me when I can't remember if you were with me. I was sitting out front, and I was kind of just like very lightly complaining about like how all these mics want you to have an Instagram account to be able to like or whatever. Right. And this guy is like, you know what, man? You're just a fucking Luddite, okay? Like,
oh God, no.
Like you needed to like get over it.
No, we would have had a brawl.
Oh.
We would have got your back and turned it into a bar.
You're
bar
right.
brawl.
I was by my. It was the one time that I went without you guys, and I was like, dude.
No,
seriously?
it would have turned into a Karate Kid
Fuck
show.
you. Are you? Yeah, we would have dance fought. We it's like, time for dance fight.
Just
hit the music, faggots.
If they're that young and throw a peanut at him, he'll die. Fuck him.
Call them the wrong pronoun, they'll start crying and going.
Well, that is one of my jokes. It's like we didn't have, or no, we're like in my day, we didn't have your broadband internet. We had the only broadband we had was the Spice Girls.
I started asking people what their adverbs are. Instead of pronouns.
We had
Johnny
Instagram.
Dangerously.
Instagram was like a cocaine dealer that delivered.
Yeah. TikTok was how you told old people they're going to die soon. TikTok, motherfuckers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I hate it. It's like, that you got to be on it to figure out where the shows are and all that. And
Well, this is how I ended up getting a MySpace account because there was comedy stuff going on, and I needed it in LA to have a comedy presence in like 2004.
Yeah, I've never
And
done
then-
social media to not get pussy before in my life. Like, I met my wife on Facebook, and I haven't fucked with it really since then.
Yeah.
Now you have to... I try to use Instagram to get my parents not to visit so often. Just put pictures of my kids and be like, here, fuck
Yeah,
off.
this is enough. It's enough.
Look at this.
I think I still have my Instagram or my MySpace.
Oh,
I signed
shit.
it up. I don't know if I should log in. It's Dateline Decoy was
Full
the
of sparkly...
Like to catch a predator.
yeah.
Awesome.
It was
Chris Hansen, you can get him to do a cameo for $75.
no shit.
He was one of the cheaper cameos.
Why don't you have a seat over here? You just wanted to do it.
Could you get how much would it cost to fly him in to like a mic and like surprise
a Frontier
friend?
ticket from wherever he lives to here.
Yeah.
If he's doing $75 cameos, he'll probably come here.
Yeah.
Speaking of Corey Feldman, I met him at the Yellow Rose about 10 years ago, and somebody had, I guess, flown him out for their birthday party in like nice Westlake or something.
Yeah.
And I said, the strip club was dead, right? And then Corey Feldman shows up, and the whole place turns into a party just because there was a celebrity there.
Wow.
And at one point, he's walking past me, and I'm like, "Hey, Corey, what are you doing here?" He's like, "I'm here for a private event. Someone's
Wow.
flown me out here." And I'm like, "I wonder how much somebody paid to have Corey Feldman show up at his party."
much.
I wonder if he's
If it was
going to.
anything.
Did he bring the Angels? I was wondering if he brought his band.
That's like I saw some friends like saw him.
Corey Feldman gave you the Henry Rollins. What are you doing here? Same as you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Dude, in 2017, I came out here before I lived here to do a talk at this thing. And Kevin came with me. Am I allowed to say names? Yeah, whatever. Kevin came with me.
Yeah.
And at
Busted that open already.
yeah, exactly. And at the end of the thing, he was like, dude, at the end of the talk, he was like, man, that was so good. He's like, tonight, like, it's totally on me. Like, we're going to go out. I'm paying for everything. This was awesome. I was like, okay, yeah, fucking A, let's do it. I didn't ask him for this.
Yeah, right.
I just did the thing that I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
He said it was great, and he wanted to take me out. We're also like in Austin, Texas, and in 2017, it wasn't the most expensive city in the world. So I was like, yeah, take me out, let's do it.
Yeah.
So we go out, we go down to 6th Street, which was fucking terrible. It was the first time I ever been to 6th Street.
Yeah, as an adult, that sucks.
As an adult, it was fucking dumb, but we went down there anyway. It was fine. Went down there for a little bit. He's like, "Hey, you want to go to a titty bar?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." Wives aren't, or my wife's not here. Let's go to a
You
titty
said
bar.
it was on you all night. So
It's
hell
on
yeah.
you all night.
Get some coke.
So yeah, exactly. So we get in a fucking cab, and we start going out to the Yellow Rose, and we get there and we go to pay the.
That's a hall. It's 20 minutes.
It was a hall.
Yeah, it's an awkward.
It was a hall.
The graduate.
I think they have
halfway on the
shuttles,
car ride
actually,
there,
from-
you're not into it anymore.
They have
You're
shuttles
like-
from 6th Street now. Like you can actually.
That
which
makes
is
sense.
brilliant.
Like a hotel.
That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah, like a hotel to the airport thing. So we get up there and we go to pay the door fee, whatever. And he's like, "Oh shit!" He's like, "I don't have cash." I'm like, "Okay, fine, whatever." So I pay $20 for us to get
The
whatever.
old
it
bait and
was.
switch.
Yeah.
You
So I'm
got
like, "Okay, I'm 20
crisscross
down."
applesauce.
Yeah, exactly. So, oh no, I'm sorry. We get there and they were closed. It was too late. So we end up going back down to the one
Why is the shuttle still running?
by the airport. No, the taxi took us. So we go to the one by the airport. He doesn't have the cash. That's what it was.
Okay.
So I pay the $10 for each of us to get in. So we go in and we're hanging out in this place, and the bill comes at the end of the night, and he goes to pay it on his credit card, and it gets denied. And it's like, $120.
Yeah.
I mean, and don't get me wrong. I've also been there too, where I don't have $120.
Yeah,
I
I
get
have.
it. I get it. But also, I don't do that sort of thing when I'm like, I'll take you out for the
Yeah,
night.
you don't say I got it.
I
if you
got
know
it.
You're a low balance.
Right. So now I'm like, $130, $150 into this night that was supposed to be fucking free. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
fuck you. So we get back. He's like, "Hey, man, you want Whataburger?" I'm like, "No, I want to go to bed. I'm like, I don't want to eat Whataburger."
I wanted a lap dance.
Yeah.
You can't afford Whataburger.
Yeah, I don't want to eat fucking Whataburger at 3:30 in the morning. You
Although actually,
cocksucker.
technically, I drive. It's the one by the freeway. I've driven by it. They have a food truck out there, which is the most awesome thing. Is to have a fucking strip club and goat yoga on Sundays.
Dude, if there's goat yoga at the titty bar, I
There's goat
That
tacos
would
at the
be-
trailer too.
Somebody could be.
Cabrito. It's the same goat.
Let's start.
Yeah, no, that's no.
But we went to see you at the Lester Pearl, and they wanted we bought tickets. They're on Eventbrite, and I'm not fucking putting that thing on my phone. So I just showed up, and I was like, "Yeah, I bought tickets.
Yeah.
I don't have the QR code." And he was like, "That's fine. You look menacing anyway." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I've got resting son of a bitch face. I just not even trying. I just look. Apparently, I've been told that I look menacing. I don't want to. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'll
stop
I
if
don't
I
think you
can
look
do-
menacing.
Yeah.
You just took off those headphones. It looked like you were wearing a headband. That was the least menacing thing I've seen in a while.
Yeah. I try to look cute,
Trying to look cute.
They
I
announced-
wouldn't say cute, but I also wouldn't say menacing.
Well, I knew you were coming over, so I got dolled up. They announced the FPIA winners, the furriest pussy in Austin. Have you heard about this contest? This is why there's no open mic at Cap City all summer long, because they do funniest person contest.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's the dumbest thing, and it's kind of a rite of passage. Everybody does it when they get here, and they think they're going to have something happen.
Is that like Kill Tony, where it's like,
Yeah.
you just.
There you go, wait, and you get your chance.
That's why.
And there's bookers there.
I mean, really.
Maybe.
That's what kills me about so many flyers for showcase shows. It's like the best comics from Kill Tony, and I'm like, it's not like the hosts or the people the regulars. It's somebody that was a bucket pole once.
Yeah, the
got
best comic
embarrassed
from Kill
publicly.
Tony is a meth head
Yeah,
with a snake fucking problem.
yeah.
Haha,
It's-
hilarious guy.
I don't know. Are you guys in this boat? But I'm kind of getting tired of Kill Tony.
I never got into it.
You never got
No,
into it.
in my day we had the Gong Show. And we liked it.
I was pumped that Sam Talent was on tonight, but they're not going to let him say anything. It's
No.
not like you're going to get some good Sam Talentisms.
No.
Because there's too much going on.
It's too hectic.
Kill Tony is very much the
It's an
like
airplane
it's
going
like the
down
NCIS of comedy. It's like the thing that I guess all the people watch on ABC. I don't watch any major network TV anymore, but
Yeah.
Kill Tony is like major network TV of comedy. I'm
Yeah.
I'll watch some highlights if somebody was good on it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. What and maybe I'm being naive, but it seems like as far as a comedy scene, it's more about just tearing people down rather than trying to like help people out
Yeah,
or
well-
be like a community or like, and it's I don't know, maybe I'm being a hippie.
I've
but
always just described it as using open mic comedians to get ad money.
yeah,
That's what it feels like to me. Yeah.
yeah.
It's an airplane going down. There's an Indian woman playing a tambourine,
Yeah.
screaming, praying to God because she knows she's going to die. There's a 15-year-old boy going, I don't want to die of virgin, trying to fuck everybody. It's not a good thing. It's
Have you
desperation. and
have you
people
signed
crying.
up? Or,
Yeah.
No,
and you haven't been out there
I've
hanging out
never-
with the
I've-
sign up
no,
people?
and I've heard it's really I don't know. It's okay. People talk about toxic masculinity. I'm like, that's toxic will kill you. It just sounds like it's noxious.
Yeah,
like a
right.
bad fart
Yeah.
of just like a bunch of young kids.
About half the people who sign up are basically the people who hang out on Hollywood Boulevard dressed up as
God.
superheroes
Yeah.
charging for pictures. There's a big vibe about half the crowd
Yeah.
that signs up for it that are like that.
Yeah, I know.
It's just like desperate, pathetic people who have like things wrong with them is a
Yeah.
big part of it. And now there are 20 or 30 actual people trying to make things happen. Who do sign up and they're around and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. But it's 200 people. So
No.
75 of them are going to be basically the kind of people that would be hanging out on Hollywood Boulevard if this was LA. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did have a friend go pretty. He went like I don't know how far you can go or whatever the rounds that are on America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
If I don't know if you ever watched the show.
You got fingered by
I
Howie
don't.
Mandel at the end.
He did. I think he shook
doesn't
hands.
touch
which is-
anybody.
yeah, I know. But if you ever see, it was Oliver Graves, goth comedian. If you ever anybody, he's look him up. He's a goth comedian. He's got some good bits. But I actually, I knew him. I know him by his real name, which I will not disclose. But I knew him before that. And he was looking to get into comedy, and I'm like. And we were supportive. We weren't like Kill Tony. We were like, hey, yeah, go to the, here's the mics you go to, and it's going to suck. And actually, the first thing I told him was mixed open mics are bullshit. And then he goes on the
with black
biggest
people there?
mixed open mic on the planet. Yeah. So.
What's mixed to me?
No, like where it's
music,
and
yeah.
comedy and magicians and shit.
Oh,
And then he goes on the
Segregated only.
yeah,
open
and then he
mics.
goes on the biggest mixed open mic, and he got like he got to go not just the audition, he got to go on and shake hands and he's
I mean, I'm sure there's something that comes from that too. Like if you're on that show, you could probably get some showcase bits or some 10, 15
oh
minute
yeah,
opener
he's still
kind of
milking it.
things.
Like
It's a desperate situation, and it's horrifying. Here's another desperate and horrifying situation.
I'll have to-
I'm going to tell you guys about it.
okay.
You can tell me if you've ever been through the same thing.
Okay.
I'm at this wedding with my two best friends in the world in Virginia, and we're sitting drinking at our table. One of the bridesmaids comes over drunk and starts talking to us. She bends over and starts talking to us,
Yeah.
and her titty comes out.
Oh, nice.
So we were rapt attention.
Yeah.
She had all of our attention. Every word that she said was the most interesting thing we've
was a
ever
good
heard in
titty,
our
or-
life. Yeah, it was great, awesome.
Oh, yeah. I mean, almost any titty's good.
But other people kept walking by, and we were like, okay, one of us has to say, your titty's out. Otherwise, this is getting more and more rapey the more people walk by
Yeah,
and see
and
us
see the titty,
not
yeah,
saying
yeah,
anything.
Yeah.
So eventually, one of us has to be the better man. But none of us was a good man. When we were 22, we were like, no, we were trying to continue everything she said. We were like, can you expand on that?
Yeah.
So then what happened?
Tell us more.
She just kept gesticulating, and the thing kept swinging around.
I'm not
And we
abreast of
talked
that
about-
situation.
Me and those two guys kept talking about that moment. That lasted us for like 10 years of every time we saw each other. We're moving to different cities, having reunions, going out drinking. We're like, remember when we were at that wedding and that girl's titty was talking to us in a different voice while
you know-
she was talking to us just like a ventriloquist?
But you know what, dude? Honestly, fuck you for this. And not for the reason that most people are going to say fuck you for it. Fuck you for making her think that she was more interesting than she was.
Yeah.
She has burdened men now for years based
So
on
speaking
that.
of noxious behavior, we toxicked.
Yeah.
We turned her into...
This is the kind of thing.
She thought
that
she was
makes her
Alanis Morissette
think
and
that
everybody
she is
was-
way more interesting than she. Dude, this is like one of my big pet peeves when you're talking to so there's this woman. She was my
So it's
neighbor.
quality over quantity, but you can't spell quantity without titty. This is the joke there. Go ahead, sorry.
There's this woman. She was my neighbor, and you can tell that back in the day, she was really hot.
Yeah.
There's no question in my mind. I look at her. She's still in good shape, but she's like 55. She's not really hot anymore. And the way that she talks to me and the other folks who are kind of in this little friend group, it's like she still thinks
Thinks she has big titty
captivating-
listening to me
yeah,
energy.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, big titty listening. Exactly. And she's still like, and it's like, yeah, no one gives a fuck about your overweight dog, chick. Like you have gone on way longer than.
There's not enough Vaseline on the camera lens to hide what's happening.
Yeah, it's like, dude, no, well, fuck you. You're not hot anymore. You don't get to dominate the conversation for like 30 fucking minutes. But I don't know. So fuck you. You perpetuated this sort of thing in this.
Josh
moment.
tends to do that. He tends to give people too many chances.
Yeah.
Makes them think highly of themselves.
I saw the Mazda out there, by the way.
Yeah, hell yeah. $500, $100.
Oh, 100.
Got knocked down because the timing belt died, and I had to put it on there. It's a $100 car. It's already paid for itself.
Oh, that's no.
I'm already on top. I'm already the opposite of upside down on it. Whatever that is.
Right side up.
Yeah.
You're right side up.
Sure. You think a girl's ever used her period blood to cover a murder? The cops come and there's blood everywhere, and she's like, actually, it's my time, so you can't accuse me of anything.
I mean,
That would be a lot.
That's innocent.
Like,
That's
this
a
is
lot.
like if you've ever
have to
seen
be a
Blood
lot.
Simple,
Chunks of flesh.
like there's a lot of. It's not just like.
I'm having a not
Right.
so fresh
It's-
feeling. It's a very heavy flow day.
yeah. It's like smooth peanut butter versus chunky. Like that's
I was already hungry for tempura when we talked about Harvey Weinstein's dick, and now starving.
Hey, I am curious about this. There's a big like schism in my house over this. Chunky or creamy peanut butter?
Creamy.
Grammy.
Okay, well I guess I'm the asshole.
Okay. Yeah. I used to live with a friend of ours and another friend of ours who they swore crunchy. And I'm like, what kind of backwards ass bizarro world were you raised in where it was
Fuck this,
crunchy
I'm outta
peanut
here.
butter? Yeah.
Like
This
I
is a
like
smooth peanut butter podcast, Chris.
Fuck man.
I
Yeah.
like peanuts on their own, but I don't like
Yeah.
them mixed in with.
Yeah,
things.
with the peanut
I need
butter,
my
yeah.
textures. Need to know where they are.
I'll mix chunky peanut butter with syrup and dip like a waffle in it on a side ramekin.
No.
Like you have a caramely kind of a peanut buttery syrup mix and a ramekin on the side
No.
of a
This
waffle.
is some psychotic fucking
I was-
behavior.
Yeah.
I'm hearing out of your-
I drink Sprite mixed with orange juice. I do all kind of weird stuff.
I was in,
that.
Okay, you like a spritzer?
I was in the dorm
Some
and
sorbet in there.
when I was in the dorms in college, they put raisins in brownies.
Okay.
I almost threw a fucking chair. Like
No,
I
that's
was like
not
I was ready. I was like I was gonna be like
It's already
Spike Lee.
chocolate.
I mean, there are
in-
chocolate covered raisins, but raisin
No,
in a brownie
I don't
is
throw
that's
around the term
incorrect.
abomination much.
Yeah.
That sounds like the
fine.
90s. That sounds like some
it was-
Alanis Morissette shit.
It was
That's San Francisco.
yeah.
It was another version of
It was
brownies.
it kind of it almost tricked you like it was like gonna be like a chocolate chip, but it was a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
it was.
Fuck that person.
Yeah, no, straight to hell.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry, San Francisco. Do you know a bar in Lower Haight called Toronado?
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, I know the Toronado.
Saw a girl's titty fall out there.
And the place Rosa Moon's next door, the sausage joint where you can like get the sausage through the window.
I don't know if I ever did that, but here's my Toronado story. I went
There's a lot
there.
of sausage windows in San Francisco.
I went there.
I'll show you one right now.
Stick it in there.
I'll show you my sausage window.
I went there with it was a not an ex. It was my ex-wife's friend from law school. He was an ex-marine, or non-practicing.
Everything
You got
about this
divorced
person.
and your wife works? You're
Yeah.
such a pimp.
Yeah, I know. It was. I could have got alimony, but but we're out there, and he's a non-practicing Marine. But he's Irish, so he's not somebody you want to try to keep up with drinking.
Yeah.
And I did. And it was. I tried to anyway. He's doing I drank 3 pints of delirium tremens.
Oh,
yeah.
I loved.
Oh, it's so good, but-
Pints is 3 pints in how long? Like an hour?
Like an hour or two. And I was kind of,
that's
I
too
weighed
much.
like about 150, maybe 60, 70 at the time. So
Yeah.
I didn't know it until like I got up to go to the bathroom and then I'm like, oh my God, I
world's
can't
moving.
walk.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I mean, he's like
got altitude sickness.
he's picking fights with Irish guys out front and like knocking over motorcycles. And that was, yeah.
There's a Highlander rule for Irish people. There can only be one.
Yeah.
There's 2 of them. They always have to fight.
The Clash. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Supposed to be brothers, man.
I love that. I love that bar.
my favorite bar. There was a bar. Tornado's still open, but there used to be Lucky 13.
Oh, look in the Dubose Triangle.
It's on Castro, but it
Dude,
was.
I love Lucky 13.
Oh, God, they had the Dead Kennedys on the jukebox.
Yeah.
That was.
They have that, yeah. And it's like, I
Seems
mean,
like
it's
you
just
guys
kinda
have both partied
it's
in
like
a lot of the same places
it's a
in
punk,
San Francisco.
It's kind of like a punk bar.
Yeah.
Like Tornado's a metal bar. It's a straight up like metalhead bar.
Yeah.
It's a cool spot. But Lucky 13 is a great bar.
Oh yeah, it's not there anymore. But
What about House of Shields?
I think that's still there. I don't
It's
know if I ever
definitely
made it.
still
Yeah.
there. Montgomery Street.
I lived in Oakland, so I would
Where'd you
go.
live in Oakland?
There was a place there called the Alley on Grand Avenue. It was the diviest bar. And there was a guy
Brandon,
that played.
like Rockridge?
No, like right. You know where the Grand Lake Theater is?
Oh, yeah.
Right across from the Grand Lake Theater. There's a dive bar still there called the Alley. There's a guy, Rod Dibble, plays the piano bar. Like he's old, like, if he's not dead. He was old when I was there, but it's just a cool dive bar. But
You know, Lala says dive bar on maps.
Really? Well,
$7 Lone Stars.
here's the thing about Lala's. It will be a dive bar
Yeah.
at some point. But right now, that is the nicest fucking bathroom I've ever pissed in a bar in my life.
Nice.
That bar.
Yeah, it smelled really good.
Yeah.
It's new. It's brand new.
Apparently, there's
and
always
everything.
girls doing coke in the bathroom. Every time my wife's been in there, there's been girls in there doing coke.
nice.
Bring some coke in there and try and cheat on my wife.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Again.
Never do that.
That was actually. I don't know if I told you this. So this is what got me in trouble when I was in California. Was I did a radio thing promoting a show, and we were talking about the place where there was an open mic. It was a biker bar called Spanky's in Katati. And
Chris, you were there.
Yeah.
Biker bar with Matt in San Francisco. You
and
guys
it
had a lot
was,
of
um,
fun?
Three.
and I mentioned that I called it a dive bar, and they got mad. And I'm like, dive bar for me is awesome. Like,
Yeah, it's
that's
like a good thing.
It's like
yeah,
the place-
I don't want to like go to like a fucking like hipster
$14
douchebag bar.
old
Yeah.
fashions.
No, I want a dive bar. I mean, but they
Darts.
got mad. I had to go in and confess or apologize and be like, I'm sorry, I said you're a dive bar, and they're like, we're not a dive bar. I'm like, you're totally a dive bar.
I think the only one I know of in Austin left is Barflies on Airport. It's
yeah.
upstairs.
What about
Well-
what about Samstown Point or something
Yeah,
like that?
that's a Louisiana piece of shit.
Yeah,
Bayou Bar Boy.
Giddy Up's just closed. That was awesome.
04 Lounge is
dude.
still there.
04 Lounge is like dive bar minus. It's like,
Yeah.
like it is a dive bar, but
It's like XTC without strippers.
I don't like 04 Lounge.
Have you been to XTC yet? You haven't been to a titty bar in Austin until
Does
you've been to
XTC still exist? I don't know.
I've
Only
only
one
been
way to
that.
find out.
Oh no, I did go to the Red Rose before it turned into that. It was
Expose.
Expose.
Right.
I went there one time. My buddy just broke up with his chick, and he's like, "I really need to just go to a titty bar." And I'm like, all right, let's go.
Did it
Yeah.
help?
No,
No, that never helps.
the only thing that helped was
That's-
coke.
Yeah.
I got dragged to one for it's my friend's wedding. It was the Spearmint Rhino in San Bernardino.
Oh, that's so sad.
It was Jesus
They're
Christ.
franchised out like that? I
They
thought
are,
was
yeah.
only
They have one in Vegas.
Okay.
Actually, my
The one in Vegas, I saw Craig Robinson in the one in Vegas.
Yeah.
It was fucking amazing. That's one
Perform?
of the best nights.
Did you get on the Casio?
Just hanging out. It was fucking dope.
my friend, actually a different friend, my brother got married in Vegas, and his friend, our friend came out for the wedding, but he was too cheap to get a room, so he basically just slept in the Spearmint Rhino, and he described it like he just fell asleep, and he basically said this is probably what terrorists think they're going to wake up to is like after they blow up an airplane, they just like. Surrounded by naked women, like yes, la la. Like, yeah.
Holy shit,
true.
it worked.
Yeah, it was. So he basically was too cheap to get a room and slept it off at the Spearmint Rhino in
That's
Vegas.
awesome.
Man.
Yeah,
Did you and your twin brother ever do a little switcheroony?
no.
The girls weren't ever into that or try to want
Did
to.
you and your twin brother ever rape anybody?
No, sometimes girls are like, I wonder if the one with the
No.
chocolate milk's the same as
You'd
the
have to-
strawberry milk.
We moved apart like after high school. There were no girls for me to be had. I was not. I wish there were, but no, there was no. I was a late bloomer.
One very common theme about this show is that nobody seems to be getting pussy when they were young. That's like a very.
Except you.
I mean,
No, dude, you were getting it when you were 12.
I was not 12. Oh yeah, I was 12. But it was I had a 1 year, a year and 5 days younger sister.
Yeah.
And so her friends were always around, and so I was just old enough where it's like it wasn't creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not creepy at all.
I mean, it's pretty creepy, but I wasn't a creepy dude. They were all like, "Oh, Michelle, your brother." She would get so pissed. She'd be like, "Stay away from my fucking brother." Wow. And then we'd like,
That made you more naughty.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, I was like,
Tell all your friends not to fuck me more. That's great. It's working out awesome.
I was
By the
like
way-
16, 17, so like I was at normal age, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I also like. I guess I was just like a horny kid, and I was really, really trying hard, and I was also failing with some regularity too. Like more often than not, I was failing. I
You're
was
just
like,
playing the odds. You're being like the game.
Yeah.
That's a big part of the game is that if you approach 100 women, eventually you're going to get one. Right.
right.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that going on. I was
Yeah.
shameless. Yeah.
Oh, we were all horny. We were raised on Motley Crue and this.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And then everybody telling us not to and don't look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It made it,
I
it
was
made
a
it more
drama
awesome.
nerd, so that was just not like no.
Drama.
This
Drama.
shit.
Well, then there was
Wish
probably
they
lots
all
of
could be
lots
California
of
boys.
lesbians, yeah.
That's right, sailor.
This podcast is brought to you by a new water called Liquid Sexual Misconduct. Oh, God. Liquid death murders your your thirst.
Okay, this
Liquid
is-
sexual conduct rapes your thirst.
This is Oliver Graves. Where's
Speaking of
Howie
grapes,
Mandel,
it comes in
cheering him
vape
on.
form. Liquid vape rape grape.
Yeah, like he got pretty far. There he is.
Oh, whoa, he is a goth comedian. Look at
yeah.
that
See?
guy. Man, that's how everyone in California
Oh, yeah.
looks, by the way,
Yeah.
just in case you were wondering.
Yeah, that was he had one really good joke where he was like yeah, I was in drama in high school, but that was just so they would cut me.
Nice.
I'm like, that's a solid joke.
That could be a waiting tables joke.
That's yeah. But I think he does guest appearances at the Spirit Store. So he's
We were talking about the Chinese blowjob machine that extracts sperm. It's like a stand-up thing.
wow.
You can go. It's $5,000. You can get one sent here.
Like,
It's a unit. It's like a piece of furniture. It sucks your dick.
and it's
I mean, blowjobs would cost me way more than $5,000 now. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it pays for itself eventually.
yeah, exactly.
You can smell the savings while you're cleaning it. Well, I wonder if there's like a gay version, like if you can get one with like a hairy asshole attachment.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what you're into.
Like a prison
There's-
pussy. You just like.
Let's check with the Chinese guys.
Did you ever listen?
They all don't have hairy asshole achievement.
Did you ever listen to the Frank Zappa album Joe's Garage?
Oh, I.
Not recently.
Exactly.
It would get
Yeah.
but there's like a sex machine in there, like the Telefunken U47, if I remember correctly.
Oh, yes.
And there's an entire song about it called like it's like a vacuum and it's made for assault.
Nice.
It's
That exists,
give Joe's Garage a listen. It's the musically it's awesome, but it would be so canceled. I mean the album cover is Frank Zappa in blackface.
Yeah.
So it's holding a mop. I'm like, this is.
Yeah, there's another
Wow.
thing that we grew up with.
Oh, yeah.
That's not around anymore.
I had that on.
Is
I
that
had
the
that on
Ween?
CD.
No,
Amorca.
that's-
Yeah,
is
that
that
was.
Ween?
Black Rose.
Yeah, Black Rose Amorca. Their new album is actually really good. But
Oh yeah.
The Black Rose?
yeah,
He's been doing a lot.
All
of
the brothers are getting back
appearances
together.
lately.
Oasis, Black Rose. I thought they were
Has the
fighting too
Kate
much.
Hudson finally worn off? Every time Kate Hudson starts banging a musician, his band starts sucking. It happened to Black Crowes. It happened to Muse. Happened to every time. She's like Kiss of Death. She thinks she is the character from Almost Famous.
or the Yoko Ono
Yeah.
of the '90s.
yeah.
You remember that?
Oh yeah.
Don't look at it. It's bad. You're not allowed to touch it.
My mom would actually like when the Hot for Teacher video came on, she would
yeah.
be like, "Get mad and turn that off." That there were like videos that we were not allowed to watch. That the Devo Whippet video was not allowed.
There was a guy at Roscoe's the other night that was doing my same bit about hooking up the incel school shooters with the horny teachers.
Oh yeah. That's very
Yeah.
good.
I heard
But he
that.
wasn't. It wasn't about the horny teachers accused of sexual misrelationship.
It was just
It was just
pedophiles, yeah,
pedophiles.
yeah.
It was like we should segregate. It was a segregation joke. It's like we should segregate the schools and put all the incels in a school run by pedophiles.
That's it. Yeah, I could. If
The headliner was not even the best dude there. He was all right.
I've seen that a lot.
So this thing has been happening where I beep my car alarm when I get out of it when I'm walking away, and then twice so far there's been like a minority person near my car that gives me like a dirty look.
Like
This Mexican dude at Randall's, I beep my car and he goes, beep, 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 beep. I was like, I'm not beeping it at you.
Yeah. I don't want anyone to steal.
Gonna be
anything from
50
it.
soon. When I was little, cars didn't have this.
You could
I'm just OCD and I think it's cool to beep the thing.
You could have doubled
Yeah.
down on the racism and just go, no, it's
The General Lee.
yeah.
So, minority people, I'm not beeping at you.
Yeah.
I just think it's cool to have a gadget. I didn't have it when I was little. When I was 16, they didn't have this shit.
Yeah.
Well, so I still like to beep it.
The Xterra is tripping me out because it beeps on the first one.
Yeah.
Like my car, it beeps on the second one.
Same with the Mazda.
Yeah.
My doors lock automatically. Like once you go like
My car
a
shifts
few feet.
itself.
God damn,
It's
boy.
nice. I'd
I
say
know we
it
had
is
a
the-
college boy in
It
here.
is the nicest car I've ever. But my first car, I drove a 1979 RX-7 with the rotary engine.
Oh, fuck yeah. With the rotary.
Oh yeah, no, it was way too fast. But it like you didn't have to change the oil because it just burned so much. You just threw more in.
I had a
I would-
Datsun 200 SX.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
before
dude.
that.
Yeah.
nice.
Orange.
Yeah. I would start that thing and birds would just fall out of the trees. I mean, it was an environmental disaster on wheels. Like I would backfire in bad neighborhoods and kids would duck.
That's sweet.
So we have some shout outs. Shout out to Paisano. He loves the podcast. Told him I'd give him a shout out. And Marley VAA listens to it at work. He works at Microsoft.
Oh.
Anybody that says what they do at work and listen to the show, that validates that it's not a bot.
Oh.
So I give them a shout out. Because I can't tell who's a real person on the internet anymore.
Oh.
Microsoft is considering stopping the sale of Xboxes in the Middle East. This is the headline, and this is the picture they used.
Wow.
That's not anyone involved or a person. That's just the photo they
that's what you
used
see-
and
That's what
put
you
it
get when
next
you
to.
look up Middle East, probably.
It's like the
Google
dictionary.
image search, yeah.
I've got a. There's a picture of me actually wearing that garb. Oddly, I was in.
Culturally appropriated.
It was.
The sand.
I wouldn't put it on Facebook because it would be.
The sand
it was
people are easily
But
frightened.
I am like.
That's what we're
I
telling.
went to. I was in Dubai on vacation.
Dubai.
We did like a Saharan trek thing, and they're like, "You want to dress up?" And
Did
I'm
you
like,
take your wife?
"Huh?
Did you take your wife or a girl?
What? Yeah, it was my wife. Yeah, we did.
You can't hold hands.
Huh?
Right?
Oh no. You can hold another dude's hand though.
Okay, yeah,
Dubai,
it's
yes,
friendship.
Yeah. No, it's totally cool.
No PDA between men and women, right?
Yeah. Not
That's
in
like the college I went to, Christian
UAE.
college.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, like they're like, you want to dress up? And I'm like, oh fuck it, okay. So I put on my shades. I gotta really embrace it. And
Yeah.
there's a picture of me holding a falcon somewhere. That's
Nice.
that's
Falconry.
yeah. Well,
Did you get to take it off and have it land back?
no, I
didn't
was
do the
just
whole-
holding it. And it's
Okay.
like, yeah. So
They let you take a picture.
yeah. But there's a picture out there. I think that one did actually make it to the internet. But
My
the
wife's
cultural
friend got a
appropriation.
picture of herself with a tiger in Asia somewhere, and she tried to put it on social media and go, "I got this beautiful beast. It's got a picture with it." And my wife was like, they dope those things up and abuse them, and that's how you're able to take a picture of it with it. So you're actually abusing the animal if you're in the photo with it. That means if it didn't kill you, that means they doped it up beforehand,
Wow.
and you're
yeah.
participating.
Well, to be
in-
honest, I wouldn't want to hang out with a tiger that wasn't doped up anyway.
No.
Like, yeah, of course it was fucking
surprise
doped up.
jungle.
Yeah.
I don't know any of that.
I remember I went to like the Mirage in Vegas. Like it was probably like a year afterwards, after
After
they
the
attacked
sig-
Roy
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And they didn't take down, like they were still on exhibit, I think, but they didn't take down any of the stuff, like the majesty
Yeah.
of the white tigers. And I'm like, they ate Roy. Like this is like,
Can't get mad at a tiger for murdering.
oh no, absolutely not. No, it's-
Sorry.
Tiger's gonna tiger, you know.
It's
Yeah.
like getting mad at white dudes for doing war.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
daughter doesn't want to. My wife doesn't want my daughter to walk home from school. You know where Crockett's at,
Yeah.
where we live.
Yeah.
She's like, I can walk home, and my wife is like, no, I don't think it's safe. So I have to go like practice walk with her so that she won't be alone and show her like the good route that's not like on the big roads with the homeless people.
Look, man. This is gonna come off harsh, but if your daughter can't make it from Crockett to your house, she doesn't deserve to live.
Yeah. She's like, if somebody goes psycho on me, I'm crazy or I'll stab them with a knife.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why? So I was like talking to her, both women, my wife and daughter, and I was like, why can't she walk home from school? Is it
Yeah.
because men are scary and horrible?
Yeah.
Then how come you say no and she says yes?
Yeah.
Ivy, my daughter, are men scary and horrible, or can you walk home from school? You have to pick one.
Yeah.
You can't
Are men scary and horrible on man check at 4 o'clock in the
Yeah.
afternoon?
well,
is
that-
the
that-
other
that
question,
too,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. How much trouble do you think you're going to get in? It takes a half hour to walk home from there.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'd be happy to wait until like temperatures cool down or whatever, but
Yeah.
I don't think that she's in any danger. But I also don't think that men are as scary and horrible as they like to believe that they are.
No.
Well, this was like it was a bear question that was going around the internet.
Yeah, we had an
Yeah.
entire
Oh, okay.
series of episodes about the man and the
Yeah.
bear.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I know we were
this
talking
this
about
ran through my family pretty hard. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't realize because I thought of it because I'm like I mountain bike, I'm out on the trail, and I'm like you come across women jogging like
All the
and
time.
I'm like,
I
You
haven't
could
raped
get
any
accused of
them.
Yeah.
rape and
And
spend
I'm like-
47 years in jail. You didn't even do it.
ah.
There's a bunch of guys that have had that happen. Your whole life is ruined
I mean, do I imagine what her panties look like? Yeah, sure. Like,
to yourself. You're not out loud going, "Hey, ma'am, I wonder what your panties look like."
what kind of panties are you wearing? How do they smell after this run?
She might be wondering what your boxers are.
That's
you know,
true.
The guy, the
That's what
guys
they asked
that,
Bill
yeah.
Clinton when he was going to be president.
They don't want
Yeah.
they don't want to admit any details about the guys that say that.
Yeah.
Every time they try and make a video about it, all of a sudden, it kind of doesn't really go anywhere because it's
We were talking about the men's rights movement and how it formed. It was the last rights movement after all the other ones.
Yeah.
So there was a bunch of other rights movements, and then it was like the Joker and Batman. Like, I wouldn't exist without you.
Right.
We wouldn't be doing this if there wasn't oppositional stuff. So it formed as a defiance,
Right.
oppositional defiance towards all the other groups that were saying we were the problem. So we
Yeah.
had to stand up and go, no.
Wait, hang
and
on. We're not all the problem.
our favorite shit is war.
Yeah.
White men fucking love war. So if you start pressing against us, we go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I fucking love war. Welcome to my favorite shit. BLM and feminism. Guess what? You're stepping into our arena now.
Yeah.
We love.
You want to go to war?
We've been making fake wars about nothing for hundreds of years.
We're great at this.
We've born into this darkness. Sure, go ahead. Let's have a fucking war.
Yeah. It's war. It's time to war. Yeah, man.
You got to get out of bed first if
Yeah.
you want to
Yeah.
start a war.
Step one, get out of bed. Speaking of fucking creepy ass dudes, did you tell Donnie about my daughter thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said all I heard is Chris's daughter has a stalker.
It's a little more detailed than that. I won't get into all of. Oh, I mean, I guess it's not that much, but basically, she's almost 20. She goes to college, and she was at the pool the other day, and some dude was like taking pictures of her and like yelling at her, and she's like, "Okay, I'm out of here." So then the next day, she's at her job, which is not at the pool or not at the apartment complex, and the dude showed up at her job and was like,
Yeah.
filming her at her job.
What the hell?
So she went to the cops and she was like, "Yo, like this guy's stalking me. She doesn't know his name, but she knows where he lives roughly and what he looks like." And so she called me. It was 1 a.m. She calls me, and my phone's ringing. And my wife's like, "Why is your phone ringing at 1 a.m?" I'm like, "It's Miranda. I gotta like go." And she's like, "Tell her."
Oh my
that
God, their phones ring all night.
Yeah,
and
she's-
yours can't ring once.
She's like, "Tell her that you'll talk to her in the morning." And I'm like, "No, she's not calling at 1 a.m. to say what's up. She literally never calls ever."
Yeah,
So
she's
for her-
calling at 1 a.m. There's something going on.
Yeah,
She's in college. She hates us.
Yeah.
She's not going to call us.
exactly. So I go into my office and I talk to her, and she tells me, she's like, "Dad, I'm coming home from the police station. This thing happened, but I've filed a police report. I filed a complaint with the apartment complex. Filed a complaint with the school. I have friends walking me to and from class and to and from the apartment complex." I was like, "All right. It sounds like you have it under control." I had a few questions for her, like, you know,
What were you wearing?
Why were you dressed that way?
when you were trans, this sort of thing never happened. Can you go
Surprise
back to being
jungle.
trans?
Yeah.
That would be great.
It's time for some of that male privilege again. Yeah.
Like, could you just be trans when there's creepy dudes around and when you're driving? I would
right.
prefer you to be a male in both of those situations. But anyway, she seemed to have it under control. So me and Josh were talking about it, and Josh he was giving me some, you know, kind of words of encouragement or wisdom or whatever. And so I asked her, I was like, "Hey, I just want to know something. If you were to say that I am, where am I on the spectrum? Am I not involved enough in your life, just the right amount of involvement, or too involved?"
Yeah.
And she goes, "Can I be honest?" I was like,
Playing
"Yeah."
3 Bears now with the porch.
Yeah. I'm like, "Yeah, you can be honest." She's like, you're just bordering on too involved.
Oh, jeez.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's the right place.
Well, yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
That's what you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also paying for everything. Just so you
Oh, well, yeah.
She's basically said you're almost too good of a dad. Yeah. Oh no. Sorry.
I was like, okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that I'm not like, you're calling me at 1 a.m. and like expecting me to like, do something other than listen to you. And she's like, no, that's exactly, you did the thing that I thought you should do. I'm like, all right, cool. So anyway.
That's good. You're doing it. All right. You're doing
I don't
it.
know. Hey, honestly, I'm a fucking idiot.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I don't know anything.
Hey, I don't have kids. I give parenting advice all the time.
That's the best place to be.
We had a similar thing with the bully at my kid's school. There's no name. So that's the first thing that they have you put on the blanks when you fill out when you want a restraining order or a bullying thing.
Right.
Who was it?
Right.
If you don't have a fucking name, you can't do shit.
Yeah.
You gotta describe them.
Yeah.
My kid had a bully at school. He's in 6th grade. He's like, I don't know. They had mustaches. Because he's in school with 8th graders.
Yeah.
They're very scary,
I
large men.
I think it's Pedro.
Shadowy mustaches. So we were talking about Wolverine Deadpool with Pat Dean from the Velvet Eater Room.
Oh, yeah.
And Donnie's review was that it had a lot of neat Wolverine comic stuff. And I listened back
Damn,
to the
Donnie.
episode and I was like,
Coming out hard.
we need to bring back the word neat.
Yeah.
You don't hear that.
I like the word neat.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. Sound like a huge homo, but
Neat O'Keen.
Yeah.
Spiffy. It's one of those. That's neat. I like that. That's neat.
Yeah.
we all have family with Navy people. We can use neat.
That's neat. Yeah.
neat.
Yeah.
I keep finding reviews and reaction videos of all my favorite games, but like there's a reaction economy on YouTube now. You have to make a big reaction to stuff.
Oh God.
But here are the faces that they put on their screenshots. Reacting to Sekiro.
Wow.
This is the second one I found like this.
I thought he was reacting to a cock coming to his mouth.
Look, if you don't want people to stereotype culture,
Yeah.
don't be on the Black Panther movie whooping.
Yeah. Right.
Like, work against it. Again, white men love war. This is well known. Everybody knows. So sorry, we've perpetuated our own. What did Sonos do? I heard they got in trouble.
Oh man. So
They botched an app and infuriated their customers.
Basically released a completely new app and then made it to where you can't use the old app, and the new app sucks and doesn't work because they forced it out against the protests of their own employees that were developing it. The CEO is an absolute idiot. He needs to get rid of.
Did they botch your app? Did they fuck up your
Yeah,
shit?
there's a lot of things that I can't do now because I was
it a
building
forced
my
update?
own library. Yeah, I was sort of. I mean, once you said yes, there's no going back.
Okay.
Oh, I haven't updated, so
Yeah, so I was building up my own library, my own local library of music. I was tired of using the streaming stuff, and I was like, I want to have some like high quality stuff myself.
yeah.
Now you can't play your own library, and they keep saying that like, oh, that we're gonna add that back in. We're gonna
that
add
was
that
like
back
the
in. but it's been
original
months.
Sonos.
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh God.
Now it's all
you,
just streaming stuff. Yeah.
Oh no,
That's
no,
so
you gotta get in the high seas. You
Yeah.
can own your shit. No, it's
Right.
like
Threes.
yeah.
My wife asked me to check her boobs for cancer and gave me all these statistics about how many women have unchecked get cancer because it wasn't checked. So I kind of countered with how many men get prostate cancer because nobody checks their prostate.
Yeah.
I was like, tit for tat, honey.
Stick a digit up there,
Yeah.
baby. Yeah.
Can I get your digits?
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
get those digits.
Man, I'm about to schedule this whole colonoscopy thing. I don't really want to do it, but I mean now
I'm
45.
gonna take one of those
age.
camera pills that you shit
Yeah.
out later that does your whole thing.
I did mine. It was a hoot.
Yeah?
It was it was
It was neat.
It was
That's neat.
No, I mean they knock you out, so it's not like you're like they give you the video. I got a video,
Video
of
of
it
your
on the disc.
internals?
Like
My a-hole.
yeah, I'm like, why are you giving me this? But
I
it was
asked my
all-
dad about it. I was like, "What did you do?" And he's like, "I just closed my eyes and thought about your mother." And I was like, "Your
Oh,
fucking mother."
Wow.
Wow.
The hell was-
That's gross.
They,
Do they start from outside and they're like, here it is going in?
no, they
Journey to the center of the earth.
They do the airplane. And
They give me an IV and I wake up, and that's the real prep is like it's really disgusting. Is you have to do like the prep work,
Yeah.
and it's you're just it's disgusting, and it's
My wife had to do it. She
Yeah.
had like some scare thing, and
Well, you didn't check her enough. You got to get in there.
Bro, I try to check it as much as possible. Trust me. I'm a big fan of that whole thing. And she, it's like a birthday thing for me. You know?
Birthdays and anniversaries.
Yeah.
That's us with Coke and anal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Coke and anal happen on the same
It's funny
time.
how they kind of line up.
When everyone's numb and can't feel anything,
Yeah.
it's time to party.
Yeah. I like the nightlife. I like to boogie. It's time to.
I noticed that thank you is the fuck you of work emails. Like when you have an unpleasant
Thank
email,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm going to start signing off work emails with go thank yourself.
Go thank yourself. Yeah. Hey guys, I'm starting to get like shingles fatigue here.
Yeah.
I'm starting to fade out a little bit. Are you guys going to continue if I leave?
I'm almost done.
Yeah.
let him finish.
Okay.
Sorry, Josh. I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought if you guys were going to go for like 3 hours because you're streaming the game or something.
No, this is just until we get tired.
Oh,
We
okay.
usually
Okay.
do how's everybody doing, and then nerd news, and then jokes. And
Well,
then
I'm
we're
just
on the jokes.
I'm just a huge pussy. I've been going to bed at between like 9 and 9:30.
You are what you eat.
Yeah.
You're a huge pussy.
It's true. I don't like huge pussy though. I like medium sized pussy.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah.
Like small pussy's not good.
What do you think She-Hulk's vagina looks like?
Big pussy's weight. Yeah, like that's like
there an echo in here?
Like broccoli. That's a Harvey Weinstein of pussy. Thing's all mutilated.
She's got a suspicious package. So I was driving my son to work, and
Wait, he
his
works?
buddy, school, whatever.
Oh.
He has to work like me. I
was
call
like,
it work.
holy
I'm like, you
shit.
gotta fucking go to work. I gotta go to work.
How'd you get this lined up?
So we went down Brody over here across from the HEB, and I said, "You guys are gonna be in the car. I'm gonna put some gas in the car. While I'm putting gas in the car, tell me the craziest thing you see a homeless person do, because usually there's people yelling about the Bible there and all kinds of activity."
yeah, it's right there. Yeah.
So I went in and I said, "You guys want anything from the store?" And they said no. So I went to the store and got one of those big things of Mountain Dew. And then I opened the car door, took a big swig, and I was like, "You guys don't want any?" And put it down. And Walter my son was like, "Hey, I saw a homeless guy get a Mountain Dew and put it in the car and scream at us." So they're learning to roast.
That's a good kid. Yeah.
They're like little Tyrannosaurus from Lost World. Go eat the man. Good job.
When you brought Ivy to my house that time, she was roasting you, and I thought it was great.
Dude, she had a good one on South Congress the other day. We saw a gay guy with a beret. She was like, "Why is he wearing a beret?" And I was like, "I don't know. Is he a general?" And she was like, "Yeah, he's in the gay army." General in the gay army.
Yeah, good for her. That's nice.
She got her ears pierced, the second one, up. And then it started bleeding. And then she had a friend over, this guy, Rex. And I was like, "Rex, watch out. Ivy's on her eariad. Her ears are bleeding." And she was like, "Don't ever fucking talk to my friends again when they come over here."
It's one of the only joys that we have as parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ruining their day completely.
Yeah,
I know. My cats don't even have play dates. I don't get to do anything.
I used to fall asleep watching Joy of Painting. You guys remember that? Afro
Yeah,
guy?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But I would always like start falling asleep at the beginning, the middle, and he as soon as he starts tapping with that brush,
Yeah. But,
then I'd go. But then he'd go, "All right, let's get crazy. It's time to get crazy." And then I'd wake back up and go, "What the fuck is about to go down?
Oh, it's just another tree. Yeah.
Somebody's titty about to pop out? Is it
Yeah.
about to get crazy in here?" And then it was like, "Let's put a rock in the river." Like, that's crazy.
yeah.
Or he'd get his little squirrel out of his pocket and be like, "Check out my squirrel." And then you stay awake until the end until he beats the fuck out of the brush.
Yeah, beat the devil out of it.
He's always disparaging and weird to like the squirrel. He's like, "Look at this little devil."
Yeah.
He's always a shit. He's a Vietnam veteran or something. So you can tell it's inside of him, like the disdain for the world.
Right. Yeah.
He's shitty to a squirrel. He's shitty to the brushes.
Right.
Every once in a while, it's fun when it comes out.
Speaking of weirdos on TV, I'll be really surprised if you guys know it. I'll be surprised if you don't know it. If you're ever like a public television nerd, but did you ever watch Schulhauser?
Oh, yeah.
California Gold?
Yeah,
Oh, you know about it.
because of Adam Carolla used to talk. I used to listen to Adam Carolla back before he went insane.
Oh, dude.
Like idiot conservative. But he
always
would talk about
insane.
Huell Hauser all the time.
Oh, dude, that show. He's so crazy. He's a
Yeah.
crazy old guy from like Tennessee, and he'd be like, "Do you know about this?"
No, I don't think
He was a public access guy, and he'd go on little tours of mundane shit.
Yeah, he's like,
and act like it was the most interesting
wow,
thing in the world.
so this is the loading dock where you bring the avocados
Yeah.
into the plant. The guy's like, yeah, that's pretty much what this is.
That's what I want for this show. I want us to go to all the no-name towns around Austin and walk around and make fun of stuff.
Dude, I mean, I'm
He's
serious.
not even making
Roast
fun of
my
stuff. Yeah,
town.
he's just
No, he was not.
absolutely.
he was
just
serious.
enjoying
Wow.
every mundane little thing, like going to restaurants and
Oh, yeah.
like-
So I
The
want to make a
Baghdad- he
shitty
would
travel
go to the-
show of shitty towns where the best thing in that town is us. Yeah. And they should be lucky to have us there making fun of them.
Yeah, you should. You're lucky to have me here making fun of you.
We've
Yeah.
blessed your town with our presence.
Dude,
This show is called You're Welcome.
you're welcome.
You're welcome, Zorn, Texas.
Yeah. What about Bend? We could go to Bend. Go to. Have you ever been to Storms?
You're welcome, Marble Falls. You can gargle my balls, Marble Falls.
Dude, I went to this Cajun restaurant in Marble Falls, and we walked in there, and it's painted all like purple and green and yellow, and it's only black folks, only black folks in this place. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Saints.
this is
Louisiana.
fucking
Yeah, very
it.
Louisiana.
This
Yeah.
is it. Yeah.
Where did I go to there? You can go to the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre house.
That's
They turned
close
it into
to
a restaurant. It's called Hooper's.
I think it's close to here. It's less than an hour away.
Yeah,
it's
we
pretty
did that
close.
road trip. They got a good meatloaf.
Okay.
It's all right. Yeah, I mean, you go out there.
Ground beef with a chainsaw.
Yeah, they didn't have chili. That would have been awesome if you're an aficionado of those movies.
Oh man, yeah.
They had but yeah, I guess it used to be in Round Rock, but they actually moved it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and did you ever see Chainsaw Massacre 2?
No.
It's hilarious. I mean, it's amazing.
I saw Barrio Brawler.
You need to watch it. No, but it's Dennis Hopper is in it, and he's avenging his nephew that was killed by them, and he's.
What are you doing
But
with
he's
the chainsaw, man?
Oh no, he's got to fight them on their level. He's like a Texas Ranger, and he goes and gets 3 chainsaws and
So-
fights them chainsaw to
So
chainsaw.
that is they filmed the outside of that is the mean-eyed cat. bar.
That was exactly that trivia I was going
Yeah,
for.
and
Yeah.
so they have a little almost like a Raspberry Pi screen set up that just plays that scene over and over and over of him going in and getting the chainsaw and
Yeah.
cutting up a thing.
Oh, he
So,
just wails on this log in the back. Like,
yeah, I've been hanging out at the Mean-Eyed Cats for 15 years, and I know
Yeah.
I know all the people and all that stuff. So it's
to
pretty
buy
cool
weed
that
from
they
there.
have that. Yeah,
yeah.
it's very cool.
So I can tell my neighborhood's falling apart now because we have a Tai Chi guy. He's just very performatively in the entryway when everybody has to drive down the same in and out road.
Yeah.
Doing his on this patch of grass. He's either shirtless in sweatpants, barefooted, doing Tai Chi, or reading the Bible or some big book. I don't know, Journey to the West, or like
Art of
stretching.
War
And
or
it's like
something, you know.
you don't have. There's other patches of grass that aren't like where everybody can see you.
Dude, I do a fuck ton of stretching. I never do it in the view of anyone.
Yeah.
Ever.
What's going on with
Ever.
the guys at Randall's that smoke cigarettes in front of the nail place next to the picnic tables? Why does it have to be in front of everybody all the time?
Yeah, I'm with
Why
you.
is everything so performative?
I don't know. By the way, speaking of Randall's, I went to that new restaurant over there, the local. Maybe it's not even new.
Yeah, the local. Yeah,
It's good.
it's good. It's just it was $18 for a hamburger. It's getting to the point where I'm like, let me just do it
No.
myself. I'll do it
Not a
myself.
damn chance I'm going to pay
I mean,
that much.
I hear that, but also just buying a fucking hamburger at a regular old hamburger place is like $12.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I'll go buy a pound of ground beef myself and do it.
I mean, this is why I eat out like once
Yeah.
a week,
Yeah.
and only fancy places like once a month or once every 2 months. Like I just can't do it.
Eat her out once a week.
I
Coke
eat her
and
out
anal
once a
only
week.
on birthdays
Yeah.
and anniversaries.
I know you guys are getting a full rundown of the sex life. It's,
The last thing, I have a friend that's in AA. He had a big party recently on his anniversary, his AAB day.
AAB
Birthday is
day.
AA, but he'd been alcohol free for a couple decades. So he had a party, and I was like, "Are we supposed to go? Why are we hearing about this?"
yeah.
Well, yeah, a bunch of people are going.
You're
I'm
hearing
like,
about it because you're
okay,
supposed to go.
it's
Yeah.
Alcoholics Anonymous until you want to have a fucking party now.
Yeah. Keep it anonymous.
So why is it not? Is it anonymous or not?
Yeah.
It's binary.
Yeah.
You can't all of a sudden have a party
With all your AA people who know you outside of AA now?
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's not anonymous anymore.
Yeah.
So when does that start? The 5th year? When does it stop being anonymous?
Yeah, when Jacob was in Boy Scouts, the AA meetings met at the same church the same night, and alcoholics were always streaming into one part of the church and we're streaming into another. My son's like, this doesn't seem very anonymous. Like we're watching all of these people.
Liquor in the front, poker in the rear.
I'm in the Canadian rehab. It's AA.
Hey, it's CANADA.
Shit joke that I just came up with. But
There you go.
Oh, you're much more quick-witted than me. I'm just like,
It's AAA. I'm an AAA.
is that the auto club or?
I keep saying that somebody needs to actually set up an open mic at a place that doesn't have coffee or just has coffee or tea or whatever, bubble tea or whatever shit, and just no alcohol, and then hand out flyers at AA meetings.
Yeah.
You would get civilians. I think that was the magic of the tea bar.
Have you seen this
Yeah.
bowling alley over here on
Yeah.
Westgate?
Yeah.
They have a weed coffee trailer. in
Ratings
the-
or something.
Yeah,
Ratings?
and there's a stage.
Yeah.
There's never anything happening on the stage. I really want to do an open mic there just so I can make a flyer that says, this is at a weed coffee trailer in a parking lot of a bowling alley stage that's unused.
Have you talked to those folks about it?
No.
They'd probably be into it.
I think my wife knows somebody that runs it. They've done well enough to franchise out. There's one over on Slaughter too.
Is it
Apparently-
weed and coffee? Or is
like-
it?
Yeah, it's like the
CBD.
Heath Ledger of lo-fi drugs.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's CBD infused.
You want to
coffee.
speed up
Oh,
and slow
okay.
down at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're California sober.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it the same as like an edible if you have a...
I've had their hot chocolate and it's pretty good.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to do weed and coffee. Pick one. You
Yeah.
want to go up or down?
Right. Exactly.
Oh, it's
like Red Bull and vodka.
The hot chocolate is
it's like
basically
an
like
herbal
eating a gummy.
speedball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, don't mix. Going back to Heath Ledger, don't mix and match.
Yeah.
Or River Phoenix, just don't mix and match your drugs.
Pig and elephant DNA just don't splice.
Yeah.
That's why I like alcohol because I'm on a continuous chill vibe usually, and alcohol kind of just enhances that. I don't need to speed up or slow down really.
Yeah. Right.
I have to speed up at work. I'm addicted to coffee for working. Work is the meth. Coffee is the meth of work.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Coffee is work meth.
Yeah.
Work math. Yeah.
I actually did a bit on. It kind of did well at the open mic, I think. Anyway, but I did a bit on the real hero of Thanksgiving family gatherings, the New Belgium Voodoo Ranger Juice Force IPA,
Yeah.
which is 9.5% alcohol,
Yeah. Fucking A,
and
man.
it's the king of. No, Mom, I only had 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give them to the old people. They'll go to
Right.
bed, and then you can really party.
Yeah, no, it's, yeah.
Here, Grandpa, I have one of these. Fuck off. We don't want to hear about Trump anymore.
Well,
Yeah.
now
If my mom had 3, like she would probably think she had a stroke.
no, that's all our parents now are doing gummies because it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And so my mom finally tried one, and she literally thought she was dying and had to go
Yeah.
upstairs and lay in the bed when we were doing Thanksgiving in Minnesota last year.
I love that
Mom.
when they think they're dying.
Yeah.
Did you hear the audio of the guy calling 911 because he was dying?
Yeah.
From brownies.
That was almost edibles and me don't get along. Like it's
I can't smoke anymore. I start hacking like a dork.
Oh.
So I can only do gummies. But it sucks because you don't have that tactile smoke coming out. You don't have the satisfaction
yeah.
of knowing that you've inhaled and exhaled anything.
Right.
It
You
just
just eat a
doesn't-
piece of candy and wait.
Yeah.
You go, okay, I think I just thought of something weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
it just
I guess
doesn't
I'm
end.
high.
That's my problem. It just keeps going.
It's different when it's
Way too
edible,
long.
right? You know,
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah.
when if you're smoking it or inhaling it some other way, you're like, okay, in 30, 45 minutes, this is going to kind of pass.
Yeah.
But when it's edibles, it will last for, and sometimes it hits harder 2 hours later. Like
Yeah.
you felt it for an hour or two, and then it
It
gets
definitely
worse.
depends on how much food you have in your stomach
Yeah.
too. Like if you eat it on a full stomach, it could take an hour and a half for it to hit, and then it'll really kind of like drag on.
Yeah.
Whereas I find if I eat it on an empty stomach, it sometimes will hit me in 30 minutes. But I'm basically off all of the weed now. Like I'll like when I was here last time, I think we hit that vape a couple times.
Yeah.
Which was nice. But like that's probably the second time I've had any sort of weed shit this year, just because after I died at Sea Boys, I'm a little bit timid of it. With this,
He died. His wife got so mad at him.
dude, she was pissed. Yeah, I
How
like.
dare you die?
I missed this story.
Well, I
It's
just
like I'm the one that kills you.
I ate a gram of mushrooms,
Oh.
and then I drank like 9 IPAs. Sorry, not 9 IPAs. We went to the Belgian bar, Mort
Ooh.
Subit,
Yeah.
on Congress.
Yeah, I know yeah.
And I drank a bunch of Devels, and then we went to
Nothing
Sea
to
Boys.
mind.
You've been dancing with the devil.
Oh, dude, I was fucking lit up.
Yeah.
And we got to Sea Boys, me and my buddy, and I went to the bathroom and I hit this vape, and I hit it hard because I was fucked up. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm hitting this motherfucker. And I come back out, and him and me are talking. We're like talking shit on whatever, and I'm like, hey, Kevin, not that Kevin, different Kevin. I'm like, I'm not feeling so hot. I'm going to go downstairs. And he's like, I just know something's wrong with this dude because he's never not feeling good. And and so I walk downstairs, and I
Should have
fucking
gone ahead of you.
pass out, and I wake up like 10 minutes later, like nothing happened, and the ambulance is there and all this shit. And I'm like, and my buddy's like, dude, you weren't breathing.
Wow.
And I'm like, that doesn't sound
Yeah.
like me at all. And I convinced the ambulance driver to leave me alone. I'm like, no, I'm good, man. I'm like, I swear, like, I'm like, I had a moment. He's like, what do you mean you had a moment? I'm like, I don't know. Like,
What's a
sometimes I
moment?
just like kind of, you know. And he's like, okay, well, like, can we take your vitals? So they took my vitals. They like did all this shit. And he's like, honestly, unless this guy said that you passed out, we would have no idea that anything bad happened. You seem like you're fine.
Wow.
Maybe he was just wrong that you weren't breathing.
I think I was breathing. I think
Yeah.
it may have been shallow breaths.
You
because
told
I
us
was
that
out.
story.
Yeah.
Because you
And
were
then
on
you-
shit or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it was probably some type of mushroomy thing where you're barely breathing or
Well,
like something was going on.
Yeah, you Heath Ledger.
I think it was the vape because
Yeah.
that vape had made me pass out about a year before. I hit the
Yeah.
vape really hard when I was playing Far Cry 6 with my son.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, buddy, Dad'll be right back. And I walk in the other room and I collapsed and I woke up like 10 minutes later. He's like, Dad, where are you? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, pal. I just passed out.
the new dad went to
God.
get cigarettes and
Weed,
never came back.
weed has never killed someone directly.
No.
Right.
Like so, like
Yeah.
yeah, it's
A lot of people think they're dying.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
made a lot of people think.
I did hear about somebody that once actually baked. They used weed butter to make Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's how you OD.
yeah,
Like that would do it.
Oh, dude,
The
those-
first time
I
we ever
get
did
biscuits.
Instacart, we ordered those to the Brixton on the east side, and
Yeah.
everybody on the back patio was like, "What are y'all doing?" We had a huge pizza platter full of cheddar biscuits.
Yeah.
Everybody got ass that night. It was awesome.
Yeah.
A bunch of drunk bitches coming up. Can I taste your biscuit?
Those cheddar bay
Wow.
biscuits are so fucking good.
Oh God, yeah. And if you got that's just what Red Lobster is probably going out of business. Like if they, you'll
I
never
think
have
they
that.
just got. They have a new CEO with a new vision for the company or whatever.
Yeah, I
and-
thought they got bought by a different company or
yeah,
different
like
restaurant
something
group.
something has
Or-
happened to them that is like they're still going. They're like, hey, we're gonna re-image ourselves.
They're gonna go the liquid death
Yeah.
route.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Black Lobster.
I don't.
Murders your
I don't
thirst.
give a shit, man. Like Trump can get elected, like democracy could be over. What? But if they take away my Cheddar Bay biscuits, I'm gonna be fucking.
You
pissed.
can have my Cheddar Bay biscuit when you pry it from my cold dead fingers.
A cold fat finger.
Yeah. Like,
A cold diabetic hands.
yeah. I'm glad you didn't Heath Ledger yourself, Tuppy.
Thanks,
That's-
man.
that would be-
No, he
that-
told us that story, but he didn't tell his wife that he was on shrooms when he died.
Oh.
And then he came over with her on my birthday. We're sitting around the
all of this.
fire. And I was like, oh, yeah, that was when you did shrooms. And then she, in front of everybody, was like, you never told me you did shrooms when you died that night.
No,
And I
you're
was
mixing
like,
the
my
story
bad,
up.
dude.
You're mixing the story up. You were like, "Hey, the first time we met, we were both on shrooms,"
Oh, yeah.
and I was like, "What?" And my wife's like, "You were on shrooms that night?" And I was like, "Yeah, just a little bit." She's like, And it was because it was after
in
I
a
died
place
at
we didn't
Sea
wanna be.
Boys
Yeah.
that she was pissed about it because I was doing shrooms not all the time, but I was doing shrooms with some regularity up until the point that I died at Sea Boys, and then she got pissed about me doing shrooms after that.
Oh.
This is what sucks about that shit with kids. Now it's becoming more legal and it's everywhere. I don't have 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever.
No.
And if I do, I'm going to worry about my kids having to take them to the hospital or something.
Well,
all
here's
the
the-
time.
here's the
and
thing,
see
dude.
Jesus and the devil.
You're
start crying.
You're close to the stage that I'm at, where I have 8 hours a lot.
Hell yeah.
A lot more often than I did 3 years ago.
The only time I have 8 hours is when I'm supposed to be at work.
Yeah.
So I have to fake a sick day and go take shrooms
Right.
in the woods, and I'll probably get arrested.
They're almost old enough you'll have a DD at some point. So that's
Yeah, right.
Dude, I got 2
a
of them.
double dick
Oh,
down?
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
Dude, my daughter's such an ass. Like, I mean, this is like kind of sweet, but there's so much ass built into this. Like, she calls me last week and she's like, "Dad, I want to surprise Mom and come home. So I'm going to a wedding in San Antonio on Friday. She's like, I want to come home on Thursday and surprise Mom. Can you pick me up at the bus stop? I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll pick you up at the bus stop. And she's like, also, I need a ride to San Antonio on Friday. Could you drive me to San Antonio? I'm like, well, honey, I have to work. And she's like, well, do you think you could take the day off and just like drive me down there? I'm like,
Everybody thinks Dad can just fucking take a day off.
so I'm
Like the world can stop.
I'm like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'll take the day off. I'll drive you down to San Antonio. She's like, actually, it's not San Antonio. It's Comfort, Texas, which is like in between like San Antonio and fucking Fredericksburg.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like
Yeah.
Dude, I told you women are the Jews of the world. They're really bad about rounding things up. Everything's all the numbers
So,
are fucking fake.
I look at it and I'm like, this is an hour and 40-minute fucking drive from my house. I'm gonna drive you
No
down
big
there
deal.
at 9 a.m. to go to a wedding at 11, and then what time do I have to pick you up? So am I hanging out in fucking Comfort all day?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I guess that's what I'm doing. I
I
guess
got
I'm,
some chocolates.
Does she drive it all?
yeah, she drives, but her mom will freak the fuck. My wife is like so afraid of the car and the kids driving. She does not want her to like drive alone to Comfort. That would just I know.
Oh no, you got man.
I know.
That's just weird because I grew up in Southern California. Like we drive from Moreno Valley. We would drive from Moreno Valley to
As soon as your kids could drive, as soon as we could drive, our parents were like,
Yeah.
"Good fuck, go,
Yeah,
get the
go.
fuck out of
We
here."
would drive because we would
Take
drive
the car,
to
take the keys.
We would drive to Vidiot's like in Santa Monica or whatever, just because you couldn't get Kurosawa and Riverside. So, and then we would drive back the next night, and that was just what we did. And like now, I hear that like people are like, my God, I wouldn't want to have
and
kids.
there's lots of
You know-
kids now that don't get driver's licenses. They're like,
yeah.
I'm not going to
Well,
worry
why
about
not?
it
Yeah,
right
your
now."
parents are Uber.
I might
and
actually
DoorDash
just
and-
force this and be like, you know what, you're driving yourself to Comfort. It's like, am I really gonna hang out in fucking Comfort or Fredericksburg or whatever from 11 a.m. until whenever this wedding's over, like 11 at night? Like I'm gonna hang out in fucking Comfort for 12 fucking hours? No way.
No.
No.
Go to a coffee shop, take some shrooms, look at the town, see if there's a record store.
Yeah. I guess I could go up to like
Find a
I love
park.
how I'm flip flopping, just like moment by moment. There's no way I'm doing this shit. Actually, maybe
Yeah.
I'll go up to Enchanted Rock and hike around. Then go
Yeah.
to Fredericksburg.
There's some good mountain biking out there somewhere.
Yeah.
I think there is somewhere out in Comfort. Isn't
Well, I have to get my fucking bike back first.
Oh, yeah.
It's still in the shop. Like he's sending me texts like
You can be somewhere where no one knows you or needs you for 8 hours. That's awesome.
that's-
Do whatever the fuck you want.
That's fair. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
sending.
I don't want to go where everybody knows my name. I want to go where nobody.
Yeah.
Where nobody knows who the fuck I am.
Where is this motherfucker? He just sent me a. I thought he sent me a text earlier. Okay, well I'm not gonna. I guess I'm not gonna like dig through my text.
So they're actually they're patching the carbon on
they're
the brake.
patching
Jeez.
patching the carbon up. Yeah, It
Yeah.
looks good, but it's like, man.
I mean, it's cheaper than a new frame. I mean, it's like
Yeah, it's like $1,700 for a new frame.
yeah. I had my hardtail. I actually cracked in California. They actually replaced it because it wasn't a crash or anything. It was just wore out.
Oh yeah,
So, but it wasn't supposed to do that. But I was riding it pretty hard.
yeah.
So, I don't know.
That's what we do.
Yeah. Sorry, we're drifting into boring mountain bike talk.
We should ride mountain bikes together.
Yeah, where do you normally ride?
Well, I'm normally just all the Southwest stuff,
Yeah.
South Austin Trail Network, like Meridian and all through all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like my daily kind of thing.
Yeah, I usually do like Slaughter Creek. On,
Oh, yeah.
on the that's like my after work ride.
Man, I'll ride Slaughter Creek with you.
Nice. Yeah.
Do you know the other stuff down there? Or?
like
Meridian and
You
like
guys have to find a place to have avocado toast after.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
and anal.
And yerba
The,
mate.
no, I like I've done it where I'll park over by like ATX bikes
Yeah.
and ride those trails up there and then go up to there and then I'll go up over to
Avanya.
yeah or whatever that's the one that goes between the freeway there.
The 45.
yeah.
In between 45 there.
yeah, and that's kind of fun. So
Oh man, there's this thing called the Meridian Bowl, and it's basically like kind of like a ski park. They've made like all these jumps on this downhill
no.
thing, and
I like my collarbone where it is.
well,
I'm good.
you can either roll some of the jumps
Yeah.
or you can go around them. I'm not like super crazy.
Yeah, I'm not. If I hit like a 4-foot drop, that's a mistake.
No.
That is, yeah,
I stopped doing that a couple of years ago.
yeah.
There's a huge hill right by here that I bike down with the kids, and it's like a roller coaster. It's got jumps, but I'm not allowed to go near them.
Yeah.
Because I went off one of them and I was like, I'm the fucking Karate Kid.
Yeah.
And everyone was horrified and I landed it, but it could have gone horribly wrong.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, yeah.
Like if you're not going the right speed and if you go off one, you might not land back on the other
Yeah.
one. I don't know how they calculate that out
Yeah.
for how fast you're going to go.
Yeah.
Where they always come down on the come down one.
I mean, it's
But
just,
I did it somehow. It's
Yeah.
God. Thanks, Lord.
That's where everybody breaks their collarbones.
I only got one left. I already busted one.
I already. Although my worst accident was I broke my ankle crossing the road to get to the trail. This was in Kentucky and it was a ditch that was covered in leaves that I did not see and I hit it and I did not stick the landing. It was I broke it in a couple places, got a bunch of titanium in there and torn ligaments.
He's more
tendons.
machine now than man.
Pretty much.
Twisted into evil.
That was like I went to my doctor was like I asked him like can I run and he's like no you shouldn't run and I'm like well what if I have to flee something and he's like buy a gun. I'm like that was
Run
like that
for
is the
governor
most
of Texas. And
that
be
was
a
the most
full cripple.
Kentucky answer
yeah.
I
What
had
a
ever
fucking
heard.
answer.
Yeah, it's like buy a gun. I'm like okay. It was pretty Kentucky.
Man, yeah.
Yeah.
That was my first instinct when I heard that the cops aren't doing shit. I was like, I should probably get a gun. But then my second instinct was I should probably be a criminal and be the bad guy.
Right.
I could get away with running people over.
No. You don't have.
You need a gun because of me.
I'm really surprised that you don't have a gun. And Donnie too. Donnie's a Texas man.
Every time I've
I was
gone-
never into guns. Like I did not come from a gun family at all. Yeah.
We had hunting guns. That was my dad had like his hunting rifles, but that was about it. We were never like gun nuts, and they were just out. It wasn't like a big deal, but
I mean, I only have hunting. I have one shotgun. I have 2 hunting rifles and a plinker. I don't have any handguns. But
that was that was
Every time I go to the range, I have fun. And
Yeah.
they're like, this is not for fun. I'm like, this is fun. I
fun.
like
Oh, no,
playing with
they're
the
awesome. No,
gadgets. I
they're
like
awesome.
making the things
Yeah,
fit
fun.
and making it go right.
it's fun.
that was the biggest mistake my stepdad ever did was because we were living in Miami and it being Miami, somebody like my mom was driving down the road. Somebody leaned out of their car and pistol whipped my mom's car.
Nice.
We don't know why or anything, but there was a
That's
big dent
rude.
in the LeBaron. And then my stepdad decided the solution for that was to buy
Freddie got
a
fingered.
gun.
I have a Chrysler LeBaron. Why only you have a Chrysler LeBaron?
Yeah, we had 2
The only-
Chrysler LeBarons. That's how
I have a
1980s
LeBaron. How
were.
come they
The
didn't
only
give you a LeBaron?
rational thing to do is to buy a gun.
It was a tiny little 32 and my mom had no training and I mean she handed it to my brother once fully loaded, like one in the chamber and like look at my
Nice.
gun and I'm like Jesus Christ.
We got attacked by a homeless guy on William Cannon and South First the other day.
Oh.
I say attacked because it's just like the whitest way to describe this situation.
He was
The
within
guy
30 feet of you.
Had a wiper thing, windshield wiper that he stole from a fucking gas station from the water thing. And I saw him, so I pulled up extra far close to the car in front of me so he wouldn't try to get up on my windshield. I don't know how else to signify to someone I don't want you to wipe my windows. Except like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Thumbs down.
Right.
So I pulled up a foot away from the car in front of me so he couldn't get around in the front of the car. He went to the back and started washing my back window. So I honked and put it in reverse to tell him, no, I'm not paying you. I just did the windows myself the day before when I was the crazy Mountain
Right.
Dew guy with my kids at the fucking thing.
yeah.
So clearly I didn't need it. So I didn't go in reverse. I just honked and put it in reverse so he'd see the lights to get him to stop washing the back window. He came around the front and whipped the thing so the water splashed across my car. He didn't hit me. He didn't hit the car. He just whipped water at me. But I felt attacked.
It's like hobo baptism.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to they do that on Easter in Catholic Church. It's just
He was on the median and he had a rolling piece of luggage. So I cut the wheel and I was like, I can hop the median and run over his fucking luggage for him. If you're going to fucking splash me with your water. But my daughter was in the car and she's like, Dad, don't. And I was like, you're fucking lucky my kid's with me, dude. You're making me feel like a fucking psycho right now. There's no cops. They're not going to do anything. What happens if you kill a homeless person? They don't have ID. It's not even a real dude.
Yeah.
So I was telling her that. I was like, that's why people kill prostitutes because they don't have families that care about them.
Right.
She was like, how do you know that? And I was like, a friend
Yeah, I know that because I'm fucking alive in this world.
I heard. I read the Ripper, Jack the Ripper.
I did. I went. There was a homeless camp sort of over by whatever the South Park Meadows or whatever
We
the
have 'em over
Target
here.
over there. And there's under the bridge, and I think I saw it on one of the mountain biking forums, like because it's a hobo camp and
Yeah.
it's like summer camp, and apparently for one of their camp activities was archery.
Nice.
Because they basically pointed a crossbow at somebody that was biking through there at some
They
point.
do knots. They do paintings.
Yeah.
Archery. It's like a summer camp. It's
Yeah.
hobo summer camp.
Yeah, why not? It was so
Branding.
I went through there and I'm like, hey, I know this. I think I'm gonna turn the fuck around. That was not a good. Yeah.
I call them elven people.
Oh.
The elven forest folk.
Oh.
They live in the woods. They're elvish. They
Yeah.
speak a different language. I can't tell what the fuck they're saying.
Oh.
They're like real elves.
I think you're being homophobic.
Hobo. You must pass through the pass of Halhanflalar to become a real hobo. Yeah. That's why my sister calls them hobos.
That's what I call
Like,
it.
if it's yeah.
That's what
Bums. In DC, they were fucking bums.
Yeah.
the bums lost, Lebowski.
Well, I was in San Francisco. They had gutter punks, and these were like kids that decided they just drop out.
Yeah.
They're like they came from good homes. They're
They're
just like
proud of being like granola crust.
yeah. And
That
I'm
was the
just
whole
like
thing.
and I'm just like they would just hang out on Haight Street and bum cigarettes, which I got the best response back. It was
It's
a
not
friend of mine.
funny if you're $200 from being homeless anyway yourself. Like,
Yeah,
oh, cool, you're
exactly.
cosplaying my nightmare.
Yeah. They would ask you like, "Oh, you got a cigarette?" I'm like, "Not till they put 21 in a pack, and then I will give you a cigarette. Then I will have an extra cigarette."
Yeah.
But no, it was, and I just resented them because then they go to college and then they talk about I lived on the street. And I'm like, no, you
That's what
didn't.
That's all Portland
They
is.
should go on
God,
Kill Tony.
yeah.
Fucking,
They would be a new regular on Kill Tony if they came to 6th Street.
Like you're just adding to a shitty. Like there are real people with real problems that are out on the street. And
You're just a fucking idiot.
You're just
who
slumming.
doesn't want to work.
Yeah. Like go back to your parents. You will eventually. There was actually there was a girl in
I
our
think this
dorms.
is a fucking game.
Oh yeah, like there was a girl in our dorm. She took in like a tribe of gutter punks in her room, like and in her dorm room. She just let them crash there, and they were bragging about how
That's
like
how you
they
get staph infection.
Well, they were bragging about like what
on
they
the
had
doorknobs,
living on
man.
them with like lice and scabies and stuff.
Oh my god.
It's like
Until
this fucking guy with his.
yeah, it was
You better watch it. I'm going to show you. I'm
Shingles.
going to show you guys. You're not
I
gonna
saw
like
it already. You sent me a
Not
dick
gonna like
pic.
it.
yeah, it was.
It's not good.
It was. I was just. It just annoyed me because they were just adding to a shitty problem, which is now even worse in San Francisco. So it's
Yeah, San Francisco's a cesspool now. Westfield Mall gone. Park 55 gone. Macy's gone. You know Macy's is gone, right?
yeah, that's actually weird. I haven't been in the city. Well, actually, I was there in April, but we just went to the Punchline and got out. So I haven't actually been in the city. I don't know if it'd be depressing, but I don't know if I want to believe like half the shit that I hear on Fox News because it's like,
Well, here's the thing. If you go to like Nob Hill or Russian Hill or you got
Oh, yeah.
Fisherman's Wharf or something like that, whatever.
Yeah.
It's all the same as it ever was.
well, hills are good. Homeless people don't go uphill.
yeah,
That's
you
like
have to
this.
walk
Yeah.
up a thing. But
Yeah.
So did you ever see the picture of the woman fucking the pig on the internet? It never worked.
I did not. It never came through, and I think I'm a better person for it.
It'd be funny if she went up to some furries and she was like, "You think this is a fucking game?
hang on,
I fuck pigs
I'll
for
pull-
real.
I'll
You
pull
guys
it
are
up
in
for you.
outfits playing like this is silly.
She's probably.
I'm out there getting it in real life from a real pig.
I had a bit about that about the
You guys are
one of the-
dressing up like Oscar Mayer or whatever.
Oh God, because you wonder where like these like celebrity people are, like the girls with the 2 girls 1 cup girl. Like how does that work? Like you're at Randall's. Like where do I know you from? Like
Right.
oh my God, I know.
That's like all the kids now. They're all trans and bi and fluid until puberty kicks in, or until you actually have to put a dick in your butt. And
Yeah.
then they're like, "No, I didn't know this was a motorcycle gang, and we had to get initiated."
yeah.
I think you just say you're gay to get out of doing stuff. I can't change for PE because I'm gay.
This is why non-binary is, it's just so like, it's such bullshit. It's like, okay, like you didn't have to do anything to be non-binary except for say a thing that you are. But like a gay dude has to like put a dick in his butt or in his mouth.
That's an actual action involved. With
Yeah, with a lesbian,
how
they
you
have to
feel,
like
yeah.
scissor or 69. By the way, I'm just like trying to make myself hard right now.
You have to look at each other's pussy for hours on video and tape it for me to watch later.
on end. But a non-binary, all they have to do is say like, "I'm not non-binary. I have they them
There
pronouns."
has to be a voiceover that goes, "Hey, loser, stop jerking off by yourself." It eventually turns into humiliation porn by accident.
yeah. Anyway.
I don't know. Yeah, I just don't give a shit. Like I like.
Oh, I'm
like,
with you. I don't care either.
Like, just don't think it makes you interesting. That's my only like. He wanted like a non. I didn't even know non-binary was a thing.
Whenever I was a kid, it was like hot topic shit. Like
Yeah.
that was what like it was. The goth kids from South Park. If you
Yeah.
want to be a nonconformist and not conform with everybody, you have to do the same things we do, listen to the same music we listen to.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
wear
Well,
the same
Donnie's bit
clothes.
about it is great. They're all raised on Pokemon, so they're trying to be the rarest, most
the
mythical
the
card.
most
No one's
valuable
like
Pokemon
me.
is the rarest one. So you gotta identify as the rarest
I'm
thing,
mystical. No one's ever seen this before. There was already a coolest non-binary as David Bowie. He's a star man. He's a boy and a girl. He already nailed that whole thing.
Yeah.
No one is going to ever
Or
do that better.
There was Pat from Saturday
Yeah.
Night Live.
Yeah.
Like that was. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, I wonder like if it's like, you know, because you could just be androgynous back in the day, but like, you know, maybe now it's like everything's so hypersexualized. Either, you know, like you're a kid and you're like you have to be like into MMA and have a fucking monster truck if you're a dude, or you got to be like a big titty Instagram girl if you're a girl, and you feel like you don't fit into any one of those. So
That's
you're like,
the-
well,
that's-
fuck. I guess
that's
I'm.
why it's all my fault. That's why I shouldn't have let everybody on the internet because it turned us into this.
You-
Nice job,
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's all my fault.
it's
Everyone's the rarest.
big
I've been-
titties and monster.
I've been
trucks.
fighting with this thing for like 20 minutes. I don't think I'm ever going to get figured.
You're going to get the chest and it's going to be a coin.
This looks like the last kind of game I would want to play. Like every time I get to a puzzle, and I'm like, I hate.
It's
puzzles.
funny that you're now finally the woman, Zelda, and you're having the same argument over and over again with that elevator.
Yeah, right.
You're cosplaying being a girl.
Hey, I love you guys. I'm fighting with keeping my eyes open.
Yeah, I
now.
think I'm good. I think we can
gotta-
end this
I gotta go to
stream.
bed.
All right.
I have to go to bed.
Yeah.
This is what happens.
We
when you're
joked all the
old and You
jokes.
have old people.
That's the stream. Thank you, everyone.